to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Oh, it is Thursday, my dudes.
What a throwback.
Welcome, everybody, to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 224. I cracked my throat a little bit there.
Ooh.
All right, welcome. We're here every week to talk DC Comics and others because we like to read. I like to read a lot. There's a lot of good stuff going on, and we're going to talk about it because there's a lot of stuff came out this week. I haven't read everything yet, but I'm hoping you guys did.
We like to read, but we also like to talk too.
Exactly.
I think we like to talk more than we like to read.
That could be the case.
Like, for example, as soon as I finished reading GreenLantern number 17, I texted you guys and I told Josh to read it immediately. And he still hasn't.
And I proceeded to complain about it.
We shall see.
Yeah. You looked distracted for a second there.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can't see Brandon, huh? I'm always distracted just a little bit.
Fair enough.
It's I literally I just got the email. I'm gonna have to do a lot of Googling, but it looks as though my I'm gonna have to have surgery to remove it, but it looks as though my thyroid is the tumors are benign. So
Hey,
right on.
That's good.
Awesome.
I hope that's good.
It's better than the other.
Yeah.
I just read it here while we were live on the air, so you guys and the listeners have heard it before my wife and kids have.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
that's so special.
Mazel tov. Congratulations. Yeah. Excellent. That's got to be a weight off your fucking shoulders.
I mean, I'm not thrilled about somebody going into my throat with a knife to take that sucker out, but you know what?
It's better than dying.
Than the
alternative.
Yeah. Though, like, just saying the words, someone putting a knife in my throat, that doesn't sound
right.
It's already making me freak out.
You're making you freak out.
I know, and I'm not even getting surgery.
Oh man.
Well, that's good news.
Indeed it is.
It sounds like you're having a good day. I too am having a good day. I worked my last shift at Yield Orange Big Box.
Yeah.
Since I'm no longer there, I can just call it Home Depot. I don't care now. Not only that, I had a delicious tuxedo cake. Linkin Park announced a world tour and they're coming to Toronto. And The Onion bought InfoWars.
I saw that. I saw the article this morning. I was like, if I didn't see this from like a reputable news source, I would have thought it was an Onion article.
You know?
That's what everybody said in Discord too.
Yeah.
This can't be real.
There's a news article about the Onion. How can you tell if it's real?
Oh, I hope they take the absolute piss, shit, and all other bodily fluids out of InfoWars. I can't wait.
They've already started.
Oh man,
there is
a
video of Alex Jones saying that he was in his studio recording and he got the email saying that he needs to leave. They're shutting it down.
Yes.
And he was already fighting back, saying they need a court order. They don't need shit. They own you now.
Yeah, no.
And they're going to liquidate the assets.
You're squatting
stuff. And like, yeah. There is a hilarious article about all the stuff they're going to do with the stuff they got from InfoWars, the assets. obviously not true because it's all satire, but like what they'll do with the assets. They actually did purchase InfoWars. That is 100% true. I first heard about it. My buddy sent me a screenshot of a tweet from, I think it was the New York Times, saying that the Onion bought InfoWars. But in the tweet, it said, the Onion says they bought InfoWars. And that already is like a red flag. The Onion said they, okay, but like,
Right.
did they? Yeah. So it's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So that was a great way to start the morning.
That was a great way to start the morning.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what is
Yeah,
not a
for
great
a
way to
job.
start the morning? Finding a cockroach in your room.
Oh,
Uh,
those New York apartments, eh?
yeah,
Like a,
That was
like a
not
big
fun.
one or a little one?
like medium sized. I'd say about the size of a quarter, which
Oh,
Still
those aren't
not
the good
fun.
ones.
those are not the
Those-
good ones.
Those are not the okay ones. No.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I had to spray everywhere, and obviously, there's a moment of like, "Ew, my room is gross now," and so I got to go out today and just like not think about my room, which was nice.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a
nasty.
throwback. That's well deserved.
Mm.
Damn. You got to get some cockroach spray ASAP.
Yeah, and I already sprayed every inch and corner of my room, so
Yeah.
at this point, it's just praying it doesn't happen again this week.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
found it alive or dead?
alive. Yeah, and the worst part is like it was crawling towards the cubby. I shouldn't go into this much detail. I'm sorry, but
No, that's fine.
it's crawling towards the cubby where I have all my comics. So I had to
Ugh.
flatten it with one of them. So the poor copy of Action Comics I have, like one from years ago, I had to use it to smash the motherfucker, and it had guts all in the back. And I was like, "Oh, I'll never look at this again." Yeah,
A shoe was always a good alternative, but if you didn't have one at
Yeah.
the time,
I didn't have
Or
one
a
on hand.
roommate. You can pick a roommate up and smack him with it.
Honestly, I should have.
especially when you hate.
They're pretty disposable.
You're in New York, man. I mean, roommates are a dime a dozen.
Exactly.
You put a
Like
sign
toilet
out, it's
paper.
gone in 2 minutes.
You can find it anywhere. Yeah,
You find it anywhere,
Oh,
except
Yeah.
when you need it.
except when you need it. Then suddenly it's disappeared off the face of the earth.
Ooh, I have a question. Your apartment building, is there a bar at the bottom?
No,
Okay, so that's not a thing in like every corner.
no. I wish there was a bar at the bottom. I would would help ease the pain of finding a disgusting bug in my room.
Yeah.
This guy has seen How I Met Your Mother, and that's all he knows
Yeah.
about New York.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, I've looked at a map.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I know it exists.
I've seen a lot of movies. I know
heard
Godzilla
about
trampled it in 1998. If you can call that Godzilla.
The worst Godzilla.
I don't know. Like it had some
Ugh.
had some charm, and there were some pretty bad Godzillas before it.
I mean, like the schlocky sequels, yes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You can find some entertainment value in even like the campiest of Godzilla movies, but
Yeah.
that one is just I don't know. Even for me, I
Yeah.
was like, this sucks. This is so boring.
The only one of the I'll call it the classic era of Godzilla. The only one that you can make fun of legitimately with no argument against it is Son of Godzilla. I believe that's the actual name. Give me 1 second.
I think you're right.
Yep, 1967.
Yep. Manila, the Son of Godzilla. Yes. Oh boy.
It's called Manila.
Yep. Minilla, like mini.
Oh my god. Is that where that joke in Futurama comes from?
I don't have every word of dialogue memorized from Futurama.
I was trying to think of like what joke are you talking about?
with Mr. Panucci and the pizza shop. When Fry was like, "There's a monster chasing me." Oh, I think it was in like the movie, one of the movies.
Is that what is it?
Bender's
No, not
Big
Bender's
Score,
Big
I think.
Game. Is it Bender's Big Score?
Well, it's one where he goes back in time. No,
Yeah.
maybe it's after that. Then I don't know. The point is, Fry's getting chased by Bender, and he goes to the shop and says, "There's a monster chasing me." And Mr. Bernucci goes, "There's no such thing as monsters, kid. There's only 3 real monsters: Dracula, Blackula, and Son of Kong."
I'm not familiar with Son of Kong.
I've always meant to look up Son of Kong. I was like, I don't know what that is.
I am looking.
I
it
didn't
up
know
right
Kong
now
had a son.
'cause
I also didn't know
is a
Godzilla had a
thing.
son. So
A 1933 monster film. I
Wow,
was
that
unaware
looks
that this
terrible.
thing existed.
oh, it's real?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Damn.
But I'm wondering of all the monsters out there, why Mr. Panucci would have picked that one.
Son of Kong and not Kong.
Not Kong.
I mean, his choices were Dracula, Blackula, and Son of Kong. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't reach high.
No.
God.
Yeah.
Not even
Blackula.
like-
I haven't heard that in so long.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite throwaway jokes in that show. So absurd. Might be the dumbest joke in the show.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm sure if I racked my brain, I could think of some more. It's funny, in anticipation of this show, like 2 days ago, I was thinking about like what are Futurama lines that live rent free in my brain? And the one that kept coming up was from Kwanzaa Kwanzaa song. I think I've had this in my brain for at least 10 years. It's like literally just like 2 lines. It's there are 7 basic principles that go to make up Kwanzaa. Now sit your asses down and have some knowledge dropped upon you. And I just remember that because it's the most ridiculous rhyme I've ever heard.
God, I love how every like holiday has a robot attached to it.
Oh,
Kwanzaa pot is
Kwanzaa
fantastic. Holy shit. For me, one that lives rent free in my head forever is don't you worry about that. Let me worry about blank. I think I've said that. I've quoted that line in real life like more times than anything else.
Oh man.
Actually, what I found really interesting was one time I just said, "I win." And the guy that was standing next to me is like, "Oh, I get that from Futurama." I'm like, "How did you get that from?" Like, yeah, it's from Futurama.
wouldn't have
But how
got
did you
that.
get that?
Yeah.
That was like the biggest throw. It was sorry, last time we'll talk about Futurama, but it was the episode where they go to war and Layla pulls a whole Mulan thing and she goes in.
Oh yeah, Lee Lemon.
And then I think it was
Zap
that
has a
episode.
gay scare.
I just saw that not too long ago.
Yeah. Hey, I think it was that episode because I just know there was a bunch of guys in the shower and there was the black bar generator to like cover up their nudity. And then somebody like trips on the power cord and it unplugs the black bar generator. So all the black bars disappear and all the guys go, woo, except for one guy just standing there who goes, "I win." In like the deepest, manliest voice you could think of.
I gotta rewatch that episode. As I remember, like the premise was Fry and Bender wanted like the army
gum.
discount or something.
Yeah. They just bought a pack of gum
Yeah,
with a discount.
yeah. So they sign up for
Yeah.
for the army, and then they end up going to war.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Like, so we can sign up for this, buy a pack of gum, and then just quit. Yep.
Yeah.
That were
Yep.
true. Unless war were declared. Then the alarm goes off. What's that sound mean? War were declared.
Oh.
Fuck. Okay, no more Futurama talk.
Come on, we
It's like,
always
I
go back to
literally
Futurama every time.
Because
One
it's such a
quote
quotable
makes
show. It's such a good show. We all love it.
That's it.
Josh.
That's
I hope he loves it.
I could give.
Otherwise,
you
he's gone.
I will take
only
over this
one I
damn
could
show.
But granted, I've only seen every episode, or I've only seen what I've seen once.
Yes. You
So-
need to watch it at least 3 more times to truly fall in love with it.
Yeah. And then a 4th time, just for old time's sake.
Yeah. And then a 5th time for fun.
It's
Yeah,
with some
so
beer.
much like The Simpsons.
I mean, yeah.
Would make
Made
sense.
by Matt Groening. Except the big difference, like Simpsons is like the really stupid humor, and Futurama goes into like the smart humor.
Mhm. Wait, Rob, can I? This will be the final question. But I am actually kind of curious. Of the movies, which one is the one you say you've seen the most?
Oh, of the movies?
Of the movies,
Um,
or maybe you've all seen them the same amount of time. I don't know, but
I haven't seen them all the same amount of time. What was the first one? Was that The Beast with a Million Backs or Bender's Big Score?
that was the second, I think.
That was which one?
Beast with a Billion Backs was the second.
Oh, okay, second one. So Bender's Big Score, I think. Yeah, because
Yeah, because the anomaly opens, I think, at the end.
yeah,
of Big
and that's
Score.
what opens the Beast.
Yeah.
I think Bender's Game is the third one. Then what the hell is the last one?
Is it not From the Mars Hotel? It's a Grateful Dead album. It's the Mars something, or I don't know. It's just the one where they're on Mars and Leo Wong is building his casino, and there's like the whole Fry has telepathy plot going on. But I can't remember the name of that one. Oh, the green something. What am I
Oh
thinking
yeah,
of?
the
Soylent Green.
Wild Green Yonder.
Wild Green Yonder.
Something like
that's
that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know it ends with them running from the law and going into a black hole.
Yeah.
And that then leads into the next season, which was brilliant. So Josh, what episode are you on now? You just
man.
watched the Army episode?
I might be 1 or 2 past that. I'd have to look it up. But yeah,
Fair
I'm
enough.
not very far past that one.
Yeah. Right on. It's a great fucking show. I'm loving this journey you're going on.
Nah, we hate it. It sucks.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Not funny at all.
Oh, now I know why you're making that. So it's the headless body of Agnew.
No, that's a piss poor impression of Zoidberg.
Oh.
Well, it's a pretty spot on impression of the headless body of Agnew.
I'm not familiar with the headless body of Agnew.
Wasn't he in the episode where the headless Nixon, or not headless, the head of Richard Nixon gets
Yeah, the head.
reelected?
Oh, then I have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was in the episode with the war as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I got the Zoidberg because it's him saying Zoidberg.
Yeah.
But like also the Nixon character does that too. I don't know why I said Nixon character as though he's not a real person.
I mean,
Nixon
like
character.
it's not like Nixon is voicing him.
Yeah. He's not?
Trouble.
What?
Agnew,
can't prove that.
get my body. Oh man.
Oh,
What?
no.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta stop.
All right.
I gotta stop. I will quote Futurama for the rest
Moving
of the
onward.
if I don't stop.
Right? We got
Okay.
a super dad, a bright white lights, and big lightning to get to.
Yeah. Just like Bob Saget, yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, I hear Super Dad, I just think Bob Saget.
Why?
Because he was
Okay.
America's dad.
He was America's dad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You ever suck dick for America's dad?
An actual quote from Bob Saget.
Jesus Christ.
Have you ever seen Half Baked, Brandon?
I've not seen Half Baked.
Oh my
Have you
God,
ever
it's
seen Bob
great.
Saget stand up?
I have seen like one Bob Saget stand up, and I think it was about the guy. Do you remember the old like viral video of the guy screaming, "Oh, Bob Saget"? He did like when he was doing stand up at some point, he did like a response to it. And he's like, "This guy's fucking nuts." Do you know what I'm talking about?
It sounds familiar.
Oh
Wasn't
my God.
that from South Park though?
No. It was like some guy, and every time he would, I don't know, like injure himself or something would piss him off, he would yell like, "Ah, Bob!" Wait, I gotta find the clip.
Wasn't that the Tourette's guy?
Maybe, I don't even know.
Tourette's
Oh
guy.
wait, yeah. No, I guess it was the Tourette's guy.
Yeah.
And then they stole that for 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Well, you talking about the Kelly
shortly after the same time.
Kelly Clarkson.
Steve Carell going when he got his chest waxed,
Kelly
Kelly
Clarkson.
Clarkson. Yeah.
Well, so there was an interview with I don't remember who, but I think Paul Rudd and somebody else about that scene, and that like Steve Carell. I don't think that was influenced by anything. I think that was just like the first thing that came out of his mouth.
Improv.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's even better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apart from that bit, like you should watch some like actual Bob Saget stand up and get a culture shock.
Yeah, you don't see Bob Saget as a stand-up coming, not in any way, shape, or form.
I would not expect it.
No.
In Half Baked,
considering, my only other familiarity with him is the narrator from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. See, Josh, you say you don't see Bob Saget stand up coming, and
you're horrible, Rob.
I can just imagine the things Bob Saget would say about that. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, the filthiest comedian I've ever heard.
Jesus, I'm a little scared.
Filthier than George Carlin, Richard Pryor, and Sam Kinison combined.
Yeah.
Okay, filthier than Richard Pryor is kind of scaring me. If you said filthier than Red Fox, I'd be shitting myself.
Oh, no, he's filthier than Red Fox.
I didn't say filthier than Red Fox.
Okay. I'll say filthier than Red Fox.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't.
Like,
I'm
Bob
scared.
Saget's bad. Bob Saget's bad.
There is a joke, and Josh probably knows the joke. It's called the aristocrat joke.
Oh no.
You know it or you don't know it?
I've heard it.
Yes.
Tell Brandon.
So, I'm not going to tell the joke on air.
You don't have to.
Okay.
I don't want us to get canceled.
But... I didn't say it on air. But,
basically, and I found out about the joke because my dad had a DVD. It was a documentary about this joke, and it was Penn and Teller, or at least Penn Jillette, interviewing comedians about this joke that's been around for centuries, or at least decades. And every comedian has their own interpretation. And the gist of it is this family walks into this entertainment producer's office and says, "We got this great new act for you. And it's okay, show me." And then they proceed to, and it could be like the family always changes depending on the comedian, but there's typically a mother, a father, a daughter, a son. Sometimes there's a dog. Sometimes there's a grandparent. But then they proceed to engage in the just hellacious, debauchery-filled acts of sexual misconduct you have ever heard come out of someone's mouth.
Yeah, that's what I was
all
afraid
sorts
of
bodily fluids and functions, and sometimes violence. And then they finish after like 10 minutes of storytelling. And then they say, the family gets up and they say, "Oh, that was something. What do you call that?" And the family goes, "The aristocrats." And that's the joke. And Gilbert Gottfried had the filthiest until I heard Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Bob Saget went above and beyond.
And now I don't know if that's something I ever want to listen to.
Probably not that one.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to my imagination.
Listen to his special at least. Gilbert Gottfried's was hilarious.
I don't think I've ever seen Gilbert Gottfried stand up. I've seen him in like every TV show bit character you can imagine, but I've never seen stand up.
Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy.
Mm-hmm. And
Anywho.
that line that I said
R.I.P.
earlier came from Half Baked, and it was Dave Chappelle walking into rehab to get off of weed. And Bob Saget stands up and he said, "Marijuana? You ever suck dick for marijuana?" It was. I'm gonna have to remember to mark this episode explicit.
Yeah.
Because our show is so family friendly usually.
Well, I think that's the first time we've ever said "suck dick" on air. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you're planning on having Dash do another like fill-in review, but if so,
he only listens to his part.
I was gonna say I would not let him listen to any other part of this episode, except for maybe the
only
reviews.
listens to his part. That's
Okay, good parenting right there.
Yeah.
Good move. Good move.
He knows.
Excuse me. All right. So, in other comics, well, I wouldn't say news, but in the comics world, we had a whole bunch of series open up this week. Power Rangers Prime started this week. If you're a Power Rangers fan, check it out. It is quite the fucking book. I won't even say just a Power Rangers fan. If you're a Sentai fan, check out that book. But I said G.I. Joe #1, as well as Transformers.
I was going to announce that one.
Sorry, I should have let you do it.
That's all good.
I trust you read both issues, Brandon.
That I did.
Hell yeah. Josh, have you read G.I. Joe #1?
I haven't gotten a chance to read anything extraneous at all.
Damn. Fair enough.
I will say, I know you were kind of
Saturday like wide open.
Okay.
So I will be reading some stuff on Saturday. I need to be caught up.
I will say, I know you were kind of iffy on Duke, and I can't remember if you read Cobra Commander, but I don't know. I mean, it does follow some of the plot threads from those books, but I will say the first issue of G.I. Joe is a lot of fun, even if you're not like super familiar with everything that's going on.
Yeah, like you could
Right
pick it
on.
up not having read anything and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
But I would still like recommend at least checking out the 4 miniseries that came before it, because they are also a lot of fun. And a great read alongside Transformers, which this month, holy hell. The Rise of Starscream.
Oh, man. Yes. Starscream, the half tank?
Yeah.
Oops,
half
spoilers.
Tank, missing a wing and an eye.
Yeah.
And
also,
now he's starting his own Decepticons.
I don't remember if we talked about issue 13. Probably not, but
this is 14 minute.
Yeah, but 13 was a hell of an issue too.
Oh god,
yeah.
Just showing his backstory.
Especially for me, because I knew nothing about Starscream's backstory. I didn't even know he had another name besides Starscream. So I was like, what? And he had friends?
The name that was given to him there, it was never officially canonized in anything before it, but that was like a proto name in some like book somewhere that was given to it was like a prototype name for the toy or something,
right?
And then not Philip Kennedy Johnson, fucking
Daniel Warren Johnson.
Shit. Wrong Johnson. Kind of grabbed hold of it and used it in this, which I thought was a nice little nod to the history.
Yeah.
But I don't know, at least for my knowledge, I don't know anything about Starscream's backstory ever really being explored before. We've seen the backstory of other Transformers, specifically Optimus and Megatron.
Starscream, if you're counting Transformers 1.
I still haven't seen that, so I don't know
Oh, are you
how
serious?
say.
You haven't seen Transformers 1? How is the biggest TF head in our entire network not seen
I
Transformers
know.
1?
I haven't gotten around to it. And when I have had free time, I'm busy watching Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Which
you've
I'm
got to
almost
watch
done.
it. Take an hour and a half and check that movie out. You will like it, I promise.
See,
Oh,
Rob,
I already like it. I haven't seen it.
Rob, you're better than me. I've just been rewatching Sherlock. No particular reason.
Which
other
I
than
don't
nostalgia.
blame you. There's some that's a terrific show.
Hell yeah, it is. That's what made me fall in love with
The first
Benedict Cumberbatch's
3 seasons
acting.
are good. That last season I haven't gotten to yet, and I don't know if I'm going to.
It's still good. Don't listen to the haters. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't up there with the others, yeah, sure.
It was
but
not.
it was still
wasn't
good.
as good as the first 3, but it's not fucking horrible.
Because season 3 was like where I stopped watching when it came out. It was like 2014 or 15 or something. Maybe later. I can't even remember. But I never watched beyond that because I was like, oh, I don't know.
I'm still holding out hope that it'll come back one day. But then again, I'm also holding out hope that Constantine will come back.
Bruh.
And Firefly.
Benedict Cumberbatch is accustomed to bigger than BBC.
Firefly, you need to give up, bro. I'm sorry. They've done so much with the franchise since then. It's just not going to happen.
Have they though?
Fucking mean.
They had one movie and a bunch of miniseries comic books.
They've had like a shit ton of comics. They've been doing, I don't know what boom has been on that they've been making such a big Firefly push the last like 2-3 years, but
because they, like every other Firefly fan, wants the show to come back. Now it's the perfect time with all these like series returns and sequel series coming back. Like, here's the people you watched 20 years ago, now 20 years later. See how they've grown. And yeah, I want to see how Kaylee's grown.
I'm not gonna lie,
Captain
seeing
Mal
like
Reynolds is.
seeing like a 50-60-year-old Mal Reynolds like still out there does sound awesome in theory.
It does,
but I'm just wondering who would like helm the series if not Joss Whedon.
Not Joss Whedon.
Yeah, not Joss Whedon. Then who?
It's definitely not going to
Well,
be Joss
obviously Zack Snyder.
You shut your mouth, sir.
Yeah,
that was a joke.
It better be
do that to Firefly.
Wait. Mal turns dramatically towards Wash is dead, so it would be Zoe or something, and it'd be like was her name Zoe?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe, yeah. It turns to Zoe dramatically, and he's like, "Fuck the brown coats." Written by Zack Snyder.
Oh my god. Emmy.
And can I just put this out there since we brought it up, because I was a big Firefly fan when that shit was coming out. Watched it as it came out, every episode.
And so was I, and I was 3 years old.
But there's another show that's out there that that I never ever see anybody giving any love, and I thought it was amazing. I don't know if anybody's if either one of you guys have ever seen it, but have you ever heard of Farscape?
I watched it when it was coming on air back in the 90s. I didn't watch it a lot because I was like 9. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I was still on the high of like Deep Space Nine at the time. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. I like it.
I would love to have that come back.
That'd be cool.
I mean, okay. Hold on one second. I just want to check something.
All right. Also, so just to change the subject for a second, since Alan Tudyk's not doing anything else in Firefly, he can helm the series.
He's busy with Resident Alien.
Does he direct?
He can start.
I don't know if he directs shows and movies, but I know that he's responsible for the dance sequence in the opening credits of Peacemaker.
Yep. Him and his wife, and it's fantastic.
Can I just say, I love Alan Tudyk. I've
Yeah,
never met him,
absolutely.
but he just seems like the nicest guy. Him and Nathan Fillion. I've heard Nathan Fillion is like, I know he usually for some reason, like most of the roles he plays are kind of like assholes or like douchebags. But every interview I've seen is like Nathan Fillion is like the nicest guy in Hollywood.
Yeah. Like there was a brief period for a while that everyone I was talking to was saying, "Oh yeah, no, he's an actual dick in real life." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
What?
I
That's
don't
not
believe it.
usually
No.
the case, period.
No.
But Alan Tudyk is. You guys are gonna think this is probably. I'm imagining you're gonna think this is funny, but I watch Resident Alien. Holly usually does, but when I put it on, she never makes it through an episode, and that's because it makes me laugh every time I think of this. She finds Alan Tudyk's voice incredibly soothing.
Oh hell yeah,
What?
it is.
I can understand that, but also, what a weird reason to not watch it.
Well,
That's because
she
she
falls asleep to it.
I imagine.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
But we're talking Resident Alien.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even
It's like-
having Tudyk talk like normal Tudyk. You know, I mean, he's talking like that, and it's
Yeah.
he squeals a little bit, and it's like she'll pass right the fuck out, man.
Holly,
But-
can you explain yourself?
Not usually, but on IMDb, Firefly walks away with an 8.9 out of 10. Right? Farscape is it's an 8.3, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I find no reason why there's no fan movement behind this show.
I mean, it ran for a good number of seasons, and there's definitely like a section of fans out there. But I think it is also the timing of it. It came out in between Star Trek and Firefly in terms of like sci-fi intergalactic space shows, where you also had Stargate, you had Farscape, you had Star Trek, Voyager, I think was on at the time.
5,
Babylon 5, yeah. So it kind of like it was. While it was good, it was overshadowed by so much. And like people that did watch it, they'll talk about it endlessly, but it's not going to have the same fan following as anything else because it was overshadowed by so much other great content.
Which is a bunch of bullshit. And technically, I mean, it ended at the same time Firefly started.
Did it have the same number of episodes as Firefly? Because I think with
more.
Oh yeah, because I was going to say with
3 or 4
with
years.
Firefly, it's different because it was so premature. It didn't have the time to fully develop.
Yeah,
and it basically just got the one season and a movie, and so it felt like there was so much left on the table.
Bro, and that movie left me going, man, what the hell? This is supposed to satisfy me?
No. Said no one who's seen Serenity ever. Ever.
Which, speaking of, y'all have heard Nathan Fillion's joke from that movie, right?
Which one?
I mean, I'm sure I've seen the movie a few times.
Well, not from, but like how does a reaver clean his spear?
I don't even remember.
He runs it through the wash.
That's awesome. It's horrible, but that's
there's
awesome.
a video of him telling that at a convention on a Firefly panel, and there were screams in the audience.
You know what? Maybe Nathan Fillion really is a dick. Maybe I was being too nice.
Oh man, I actually stumbled upon a video on YouTube last week. I found at a convention in like 2017. Where most of the Firefly cast were there, except for a few exceptions. Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, two of them were not there, but the rest of them were up on the panel answering questions. And then systematically, they each get phone calls from Nathan and Alan with this made-up story. Nathan's like, I need help. I crashed a car. I need you to come like help me tow it out or whatever. Like, well, I'm on a panel, I can't. And then Alan calls a minute later and says, yeah, have you guys heard from Nathan in the past week? He borrowed my car and I haven't heard from him. I've been calling him. Like they're playing them at the on the microphone. It's like back and forth. It's hilarious.
Man, you got to send me that. I want to see.
I'll find it. Last thing I'll mention, there's an Alan Tudyk series, web series a few years ago called Con Man. If y'all have heard about it.
I'm not, no.
Where he plays a voice actor who did a voice for an animated series years ago, and it's him just doing the convention circuit and trying to find work, and it's a little washed up a little bit. Nobody wants to hire him for anything else. Nathan Fillion is part of it. The big gag in the first episode, and it's a little out there, but like the reason he wants to get more work is because he doesn't want to be recognized for this work anymore, which happened like 15 years prior, where he, being a white guy, voiced a black character.
Oh God!
In an animated series, and like it's still beloved, but he doesn't want to be known for that because he's not comfortable with it. So he goes to conventions, and people are like, "Can you say that line?" And you're like, okay. It's uncomfortable but funny.
It's like Hank Azaria if he was ashamed of Apu or something.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
That would be horrible if he was ashamed of Abu. I just want to say that was really bad. He is the man of 1,000 voices for a reason. They call him that.
Isn't that Mel Blanc? I thought Mel Blanc was
Mel
the man
Blanc,
of 1,000
and
voices.
then Hank Azaria, and what's the other?
I know way too much about voice acting.
Will, damn it, from Saturday Night Live.
Will Friedle? Will Short?
No.
It's not Will Sasso. He's from Mad TV.
Another actor I love, but I feel like doesn't get enough love.
Will there that they call
Will Sasso is funny in like everything.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a bit. He played a bouncer, like a recurring bouncer in How I Met Your Mother, and it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. You're not talking about Will Ferrell, are you?
No.
Will Forte?
Will Forte? No.
Oh,
is it Will Forte? No.
Maybe I know he does a lot of voicing.
He's a big.
The big guy.
It's not Big.
I have
Gruber.
no idea.
Damn it.
I thought Will Forte played. Am I tripping?
Are you thinking of Bill Hader?
No, Bill Hader. He does some good voices though.
Oh, he does a lot of good voices.
I'll figure it out.
All right. Gonna sit here and wait till you figure it out.
Just gonna wait in silence.
The show is on hold until Josh figures out because I want to know. All right, we can move on temporarily. The fuck else came out this week? I know there was more, but I can't remember. Oh, Ultimate X-Men.
Yes, which I have not read.
Okay. I will say that. But it's getting really good. Who is the story cooking?
Oh, man. I mean, not really a ton of major number ones I can think of this week.
No.
Some books like, well, aside from, G.I. Joe, but some books coming back like Transformers. Some books with a relaunch like Spider-Man, which I have not checked out yet, but
oh yeah, that was this
people,
week too.
Yeah, people seem to be like not put off by it, so that's a plus.
It is Will Sasso. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's not from SNL.
I got the thing wrong. Imagine that. But yeah.
Fair enough.
He's fucking amazing with it.
Yeah, he is funny.
Yeah. I just saw a clip a week ago of from Mad TV where they were doing like a spoof of The Sopranos, but it's on PAX, like the super safe, family-friendly network. And so they censor. You've probably seen the skit, but they censor like every word, and it makes it so much funnier because it's like you're skipping through like scenes of dialogue. So it's just like, I don't give up, and then the door closes.
Oh yeah,
for like 2 hours.
Oh god, I remember that skit. That was so funny.
You guys ever watch Jimmy Kimmel?
Occasionally.
Once a week they do This Week in Unnecessary
Unnecessary
Censorship.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the absolute best part of that show, period.
Yeah.
hands down. It's just, oh my god, it's glorious.
I didn't know he
I
was still
mean,
doing it because I haven't seen any clips of that in
once
a
a
while.
week. Yeah,
Damn.
once a week.
Yeah, that's if you've never seen that, Brandon, it's a hoot. It's very funny.
I haven't seen that segment now.
They take usually it's newscasts and sound bites from shit you would see on the news, and then every once in a while it'll be like something from sports or something, somebody from sports or something. But
They even had like Sesame Street.
Oh,
Those are the funniest.
that's
And
awesome.
they'll just like censor a perfectly normal sentence in the middle to make it sound like they swore.
Yeah.
it like
That
I'd
makes
like
it so
to,
funny.
I'd like to take his dog out and walk it.
Yeah.
I'd like to beep his beep out and beep it.
Or
Yeah.
even if you just had like, I'd like to take his dog and be just
Yeah,
a lot of-
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's
Yeah.
oh god, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. That humor is so juvenile, but I love it every time.
Yeah.
A well placed like censor bleep is just the funniest shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely can be anyway.
Apart from that is when TBS comes up with the zaniest fucking words, lines of dialogue to censor over the filthy ones. Tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday playing.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that one forever lives rent free in my head.
Oh, man.
Well, all right, guys. I think that we should probably move along to the comics
Probably.
now.
Yeah.
I have one bit of news. It's brief.
All right.
But I would be remiss if I didn't mention it at least. But All In continues with a new series announcement we just got yesterday. Drum roll, please. The next character getting their own series is none other than Zatanna. Yay! And
so fucking happy.
I was so stoked when I saw that. But what made it even better was the news that it was written and drawn by Jamal Campbell. I was just like, oh, chef's kiss.
Even better.
So it's going to be a 6-issue series, at least for now. But as always, if the series does well, it does have the potential to become an ongoing. So if people support it and it does well, could lead to an ongoing. Who knows? But I am super excited, and I hope the series does well. And even if it's only 6 issues, I hope they're the best damn 6 issues you can possibly turn out.
Man, all of the Zatanna comics, the Zatanna minis that have been coming out.
Great. Bring Down the House is excellent.
Bring Down the House is amazing. Zatanna and Ripper was awesome.
Yeah.
Hell, that just came out today. The trade for that.
Bring Down the House?
No. Zatanna and Ripper.
Oh, I was gonna say that was fast.
Also, Gail Simone's Wonder Woman Origins and Omens and Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, book 4.
Yes.
I'm looking. They're on my wish I had money list.
And the Wonder Woman, I believe, is DC Compact, so it's the $9.99 one, or I don't know, fucking $15.99 if you live in Canada.
No, it's $40, homie.
Oh, really? Oh, this must be the deluxe edition. Huh.
Oranges and I could have sworn that was the compact copy.
Yeah, same here. Maybe I'm tripping.
Well, I mean, it's possible that they're just charging $40 for it.
Oh no, it's DC Finest.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's not compact.
My bad.
My bad, but it's something I'm looking forward to either way.
So who is in the compact comics list?
I don't know.
There's Wonder Woman Earth 1.
American Vampire for some reason. I just saw that at the bookstore the other day.
Batman Hush, Batman Court of Owls, Catwoman Trail of Catwoman, Far Sector, Harley Quinn and the Gotham City Sirens, Azarella's Joker, All-Star Superman, and Watchmen.
Yeah. Because why wouldn't there be Watchmen?
You know? Ooh, upcoming. Oh, hell
Who
yeah.
watches The Watchmen?
Kingdom Come, Static Season 1, Deceased,
Too many
Batwoman
people.
Elegy, Superman Birthright, The Authority, Book 1, DC The New
They're putting out a
Frontier.
version of Elegy. They just released the trade paperback last week.
Yeah.
Well, it's cheaper.
There's a
so,
new version of Elegy every year.
yeah.
I think they released a version of Elegy 2 years in a row for LGBTQ.
That's not surprising. Well, they had like a deluxe edition, if I remember correctly, and then it wasn't Elegy, but it was a reprint of it was just like Batwoman by Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams III. So yeah, that thing's been in print many times over.
Yeah.
It's like there's 3 words that will guarantee that you want to buy a comic. Right there.
Which ones?
By
Greg
Rucka.
Rucka.
Oh gosh! Oh my god! I'm at the door first thing in the morning.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh.
Why the Last Man, Book 1.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
I wonder if they're
Combat
gonna
Comics.
reprint the
October.
whole series, or if it's just like a sampler.
Maybe.
Like
Who
read
knows?
this, and if you like it, check out the rest of the series, and oversized. I say oversized as if it's like so much larger, but it's just a regular size.
Yeah. Also, V for Vendetta and We 3. Also, both kind of. Well, V for Vendetta I get, but We 3 I think is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I wonder how much they'll charge for that one, because I mean,
DC The New Frontier.
We 3 is like $8, so I don't know. It'd be kind of a scam to charge $9 for 3 issues, but I don't know.
I mean, it's only $1 more.
Yeah,
It's probably gonna have extra stuff in it.
maybe
If it's charged for the same price. I'm assuming anyway.
Could be. But so far, with the exception of Joker, all the other ones have had quite a lot of content.
Mm.
Well, Deceased is only going to have Deceased 1 through 6. So.
Well, the
that's
original
not
Deceased was
surprising.
only 1 through 6.
Yeah.
Oh, Death by Neil Gaiman is coming as well.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
beautiful.
that's well, actually, yeah, I'd be interested to see what's collected in that, because from my memory, it's only 2 miniseries.
Yeah, but they're
Time of Your
beautiful.
Life and the other one I can't remember. There are only 4 issues, so it'd be 8 total.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Is good, bro.
Also is again, I started
damn.
poking at it. I've got this weekly thing now where I go through and I look at all the variant covers that I can't buy. And there's some awesome ones that are out there this week. Absolute Batman #2 by Jeffrey Allen Love. Oh my god, that looks so wicked cool. It's black and white and it's haunting looking. Steve Beach's variant for Action Comics.
I can't believe the
1075 is
words
cool.
variant cover by Daniel Warren Johnson didn't come out of your mouth just now. That was the only one I clocked this week, and it was awesome.
Hold on a second. How did I miss that?
Just an update. We 3 is only the 3 issues.
Okay. Is it
Which
also $9.99?
It doesn't tell me the price here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't have a choice. I have to look.
Yeah. No price yet.
Oh no, I did see it. I
figured you had to.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's on the site. I just took my very top ones, but that one is a pretty nice one. The Jeffrey Allen Love one though, it was awesome. Again, Stephen Beach from Action Comics 1075. That variant is really cool, but the Clayton Henry Virgin foil, which is just the normal cover, but nothing on it. I want that so much. Taurin Clarke's BlackLightning cover is badass, and there is a variant. I have to show you this because I couldn't believe I saw it. There's a variant for BatmanandRobin #15.
Oh wow!
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where did it go? Get
Oh.
back here.
I saw it very briefly, but it looked like the McFarlane figure.
Oh!
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm liking a lot of the McFarlane variant covers. They're pretty
Yeah. Strange considering that this is the Reborn era
cool.
versus
Yeah.
current day, but I'll take it.
It's still
Josh,
a really cool cover.
Yeah, Josh,
So alive.
I don't know if you saw it as well, but Sanford Green did a variant cover for BlackLightning #1 that I think is probably my favorite this week. It's like such a beautiful use of shadow mixed with like the lighting from his powers.
Oh, I don't remember. Extra black. Oh no, I missed that. Holy
Oh
shit,
yeah,
that's
yeah, isn't it great?
awesome.
I really wish I could have picked this one up. I like the main cover, but this was like, oh my god, this is insane.
And then finally, even though it's not a main release, I feel like I've got to. God, that Black Lightning is gorgeous.
I want to print that so bad.
Fucking A. That's really good. And then DC versus Vampires World War V #4 by, and I am not familiar with this artist. I don't even know how to say the name. Homer. It's HOMARE, and it's just one name, no first and last. But man, you got to check that out. That is freaking slick. It looks so good.
Nice.
But that's all the variant covers that I've got to mention, and then I do have some honorable mentions to mention.
Some honorables worth mentioning.
Not very many this week though. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age #6. We are at the halfway point in this one, and man, this train just keeps chugging along. The art is good and the story is better. Alan Scott's costume being a mashup of all the lanterns is really fucking cool. And wait till you see the surprise on the last page. 8
Oh, yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob, are you reading this now?
No. But I did get spoiled the ending by the Green Lantern subreddit because they were all commenting on Alan Scott's costume.
It's oh man, so cool. Didn't see coming and cool as hell.
Yeah.
Another one that was pretty interesting, had some surprises, started in last issue, finished in this one. DC versus Vampires World War V #4. It's 4 issues in, and this could easily be the best of the series, and they've been all pretty good. Ra's al Ghul gets a tongue lashing from Damian that just tears him to shreds. It was glorious to read that. And have I mentioned yet that Alfred Pennyworth is a Green Lantern? 8 out of 10. Batman Uncovered #1, like the rest of the series, it's full of gorgeous artwork, and it even includes that MS Paint cover that Tom King did. I loved every page. Of course, it's a 9 out of 10. And then we have the most current issue of Multiverses, and our absent co-star here is going to fill us in on that one.
Multiverses Collision Detective 5. The soap operas are back. Yay! And it's fun and very sciencey. When Steven Universe is saved from underwater, they did not add any air bubbles. That silly, but not bad. The art looks smooth, glossy, and the colors are even better. I want to give this a 10 out of 10.
Ooh. Oh, high
High
praise.
praise.
So he's
10
a
out of
real
10.
big fan of Multiverses Collision Detective.
Right on.
Man, might just have to check this one out.
It's actually fun, and surprisingly enough, being a mashup of Looney Tunes and well, not Looney Tunes, but basically Cartoon Network characters in DC. There's a surprisingly low amount of humor.
Huh.
I mean, there's humor in there, but it's not all just puns and stuff. It's actually written pretty well. So
Yeah.
guys, I don't give out 10 out of 10s, but it is pretty darn good.
Wait, does the Shaggy go Ultra Instinct?
I'm not spoiling anything.
That's all I need to know. That's what will get me to read this book. Because if Shaggy goes Ultra Instinct, I am there.
There's only one way to find out. And those are all the honorables worth mentioning. And I suppose now is just as good a time as any to take a break for our commercials and
Right on.
then come right back. And we're right back.
Right back.
That was fast.
Crazy, man. Like, whoa.
All right, let's
Watch the leather. Sorry. I saw Dazed and Confused recently.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's jump into our first book of the week. Action Comics number 1075. As they call it, an anniversary issue, because 1075th issue of Action Comics, which is quite the milestone.
Crazy. Yeah. And still, not as many chapters as One Piece.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Come on, Superman.
I would
You had
say,
80
like,
years.
correct me if I'm wrong, but in terms of like American serialized comics, there's really only 2, maybe 3 other books that have reached this number.
Yeah, really just Detective and
But
what
Detective
else?
hasn't even made it this high, has it? Or Detective
Well,
did pass it?
pretty damn
No, yeah,
close,
Detective
dude.
did pass it.
Yeah, Detective is at like 10,
1090 or
80
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then like 2000 AD, if you'd count that, I'm pretty sure is.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
That's like
And heavy metal.
Metal's
not
all
heavy
done.
metal.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought heavy metal was way
Yeah,
past
for
that.
many years that there was only 4 issues a year that came out. For a while, heavy metal only came out quarterly.
2000 AD,
Okay.
I would say, is probably the most comparable in that it's like Weekly Shonen Jump, where One Piece is serialized. It's also weekly, so without
Yeah.
fail, it will come out every week.
Right on.
They came out with issue 2400 last month.
Yeah.
So it beats them, but not.
And they have they have 2000 AD, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like a couple sister magazines, because I know they have Judge Dredd magazine and probably other stuff that I'm not remembering right now. I know they do like a couple of specials, like throwbacks, like Battle in Action, but obviously 2000 AD is the flagship.
For sure. Fucking wrestling. I typed in Rebellion titles and all I got was stuff for Impact Wrestling.
Oh my god.
Oops. All right, well, I interrupted you in the middle of
what?
Action Comics.
Oh.
But you're
Aren't
covering
you
it.
Oh, I am covering it. Oh God!
So
I'm glad.
go ahead,
my
interrupt
thyroid
me.
is good. Now I'm gonna have to check the brain again. It's been a while. All right, Action Comics number 1075. It's 3-parter this week, but it's all DC, no AEW. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Phantoms Part 6, written by Mark Waid, art from Clayton Henry and Michael Shelfer, with colors from Matt Herms, lettering by Dave Sharp, with the cover from Clayton Henry and Tomu Mori. Again, with two stories going on, I'll split them up. Connor and Conkanon are facing down the Coon General and embarrass him in front of his soldiers in order to get aboard their mothership. The goal is to free the museum and everyone and everything in it and give the Coons back their stuff too. Kanan figures out how to deal with them through talking, but then Connor jumps in after they find out that the leaders in the Coons are decided much like they are in the Mongols. You beat up the old one, and that's when he challenges the Over Admiral to a battle. Back with Clarke on Krypton, after Clarke wakes up and finds out that they are in a prison cell, they are taken to the council led by Roseanne. I just realized his name is Roseanne. I think he's married to Dan. This decided that they will. They decided that they will not indict Jor-El for the crime of secretly inventing stuff and hoarding it this time because of how much he's contributed to Krypton. But he does tell Jor-El that he's keeping his stuff. That's when Lara flips out on Roseanne. I can't call him Roseanne. Roseanne causing the guards to aim their guns. I'm just picturing him spitting, singing the American anthem. Anyway, Lara flips out on Roseanne, causing the guards to aim their guns at her, calling him petty and saying that she made the right choice when she turned him down for marriage. Dun dun dun. Roseanne orders them escorted from the building, and off they go. While she meant what she said, her outburst was a distraction for Jor-El to snatch Clarke's bracelets because those weren't Jor-El's and he shouldn't lose them. Through all of this, he realizes that his dad, the inventor of the Phantom Zone projector, in fact did not want to send prisoners there and thought it was inhumane. And the prisoner part was actually put into motion by Roseanne himself. Clarke's parents are just good people. Jor-El takes Clarke to his brother Zor-El's house, and I couldn't remember what his name is. I wrote Jor-El down. That's not right. Kara is there too, and she's a brat, contrary to what she's always told Clarke. While all of this is going on, Aether in the Phantom Zone has decided he's upping the punishment game, turning the entire Phantom Zone into a hellscape planet built upon pain. On Krypton, Clarke is asking Jor-El if it's possible to turn things material in the Phantom Zone, and the answer is that yes, it's possible, but the energy required would consume a sun. Then we go to Metropolis, and we see that that is exactly what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Three-parter. Do you guys want to just do all the stories, or you want to pick them apart?
Just blow through, man.
Yeah, jump in it.
All right, Supergirl and Who Are You? Cue the Who. Thank you so much. Written by Marika Tamaki, art from Skylar Patridge with colors from Marissa.
Roger Adultery, we are not.
Oh boy. And lettering by Becca Carey, not Roger Daltrey. It sure is quick one. It sure is a quick one this time. Power Girl is wondering where Kara is, and Superman won't tell her, only that he hopes Supergirl's experience will help her do what many can't. But he doesn't tell us what that is. Back with Kara and CRB, the court droid, they are making their escape and run into a little trouble, but nothing that isn't easily overcome. However, it's not Kara that does it, it's the prisoner. They are somehow instilling fear into the security guards there and send them away. They board a spaceship and take off, and while in flight, CRB tells Kara that he found the crimes for which the prisoner was convicted. I think it's important to note right now that Supergirl's original mission was to transport the prisoner to the trial. But when she got there, the judge had already done the sentencing and told Kara to take it to, or had already delivered the verdict and told Kara to take the prisoner to their sentencing. So we find it out. The crime that the prisoner is charged with being the destroyer of worlds. And finally, the third part here is Memory Lane, written by Joshua Williamson, art by John Bogdanove and Norm Ratman, with colors from Hi-Fi and lettering by Dave Sharp. I sure hope I said his name right. Dave Sharp? No, I'm just kidding. It has that title for a reason. Perry White's mayoral race is decided tomorrow, and he's having trouble sleeping. After promising his wife he wasn't sneaking out for a smoke, he walks to the Daily Planet. As he does, we see all kinds of different memories, all from Perry, ranging from childhood to editor-in-chief. He gets to the planet, and Clarke is there, coming out of the storage room, buttoning up his shirt, but doesn't ask him why. They greet each other, and Perry asks where Lois is. Maybe that is him asking why. Funnily, as he tells Perry that she's home sleeping, he, over 2 panels, breaks the fourth wall and turns his head to the reader and winks. Perry talks about responsibility for a second, and then we're with him the next day in his office. Oh, whoops. That wink is because Lois is actually off fighting some dinosaurs. She's back now, though, and Lois knocks and hand delivers the first print off the presses from first thing that morning. The front page reads, Perry White wins. The new mayor of Metropolis. So let's scoot back here a little bit. The first part with Clarke, I think this is so damn good, man. I mean, the art is phenomenal. It really is. And Morey's colors are just so damn good. It's silly. The story's got me hook, line, and sinker. It feels heavy. It no longer has that comic strip feel, but I mean heavy in a good way. It's thick. It's just a damn good read. It's not breezy in any way. It's hard to put out top-notch material on a regular weekly basis, and these two are clearly hitting that exceptional mark. What did you guys think about that one?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like continues to just be very solid. And I can't say I was surprised by the reveal that, you know, Jor-El, the whole story of Jor-El presented the Phantom Zone projector to the Science Council, and Clarke kind of questioning his father's integrity was, I don't want to say retconned, but obviously Mark Waid was setting that up to kind of pay it off with Jor-El clearly was not, you know, as callous as Clarke might have thought, at least when it came to science. So I appreciated that note. I also just love the dynamic. It's weird to say considering it's so central to Superman's origin, but he has such a good chemistry with his parents who don't know who he is that I don't want to be like, oh, I wish they were around, because I guess he wouldn't really be Superman in that case. But I don't know.
Right.
It's a weird feeling. I like the way Clarke is like, yeah, my parents are cool, and like, I don't know, I dig them. They're not cold or weird or anything like that. Like they've got a bit of a dark side to them. So yeah, good stuff for that. And then the Connor and Keenan stuff is just kind of fun. Like not really taking it too seriously, honestly.
No.
Wondering how that's going to converge with the Clarke stuff, if it even is. So yeah, another solid issue for me. 8.25 out of 10, I guess, for the main story.
Sorry. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys have said already. The whole dynamic with Clarke and his parents has been very interesting. This is going to give Clarke definitely some growth in himself.
I think so too.
Just to experience this, and just to experience his family in a new light, and to
Get
see
rid of some of those conflicted feelings about his dad. That's for sure.
exactly,
Yeah,
like to see some of the truth, and also give him some fodder to tease Kara with, which is
yeah, I
always
love
a
that
blast.
line.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, when I get back to Earth, she is gonna hear about this.
Yeah.
Bored.
And as much as the stuff with Connor and Kenan is just kind of weirdly out of the blue and random, I dig it. It's fun. it's simple. It's like a side story. It's like a backup within the issue, like within the middle of the fucking story, and it's really interesting. And I don't remember what was the header when they jumped to that part. It was like, and now the adventures of Connor and Kanan or something.
Yeah, I gotta look at it again.
Yeah, there was some kind of header. I'm just like, this is all right. This is fun. This is like Saturday morning cartoon special. This is interesting. I like this. And now that we at the end we see the sun is starting to be eaten. Realistically, the energy sapped away. I remember. Well, I don't want to say remember, but like I start to recognize. What's his name from the Phantom Zone? The guy that's the bad guy in the story. Aether. Is he a sun vampire?
I was thinking that too, because the only
vampire?
other characters I could think of were the Sun Eaters, basically the space vampires.
Yeah.
But I also don't, because I think he's I looked it up like last time we were talking about Action Comics, and apparently he's a character from the Silver Age, so it would have preceded the whole like Morrison Sun Eater idea.
Yeah. I mean, the Sun Eater was like a giant rock with an eyeball.
But I could also be wrong
like actual like intergalactic vampire beings that could eat energy.
Oh yeah. No, I mean that was in the Green Lantern. But yeah, I don't know if Aether is necessarily one of them.
Me either. Yeah. There is a pretty clear identity, or at least an identity bit cleared up in the Supergirl story, though. That's definitely not Matrix. Not with those legs or the ability to instill fear. I'm still into it, though. I still really dig the art. The story keeps moving forward. It doesn't feel stale. And honestly, my only issue with it is how little we're getting at one time.
Yeah,
it's definitely. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say this will definitely read a little bit better when it's all. Well, it still reads fine, but it'll be a little bit more understandable once it's all finished.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like I've been saying, it is interesting. It just leaves you wanting so much more.
It feels so tiny. So yeah, I think you're right, Brandon. I think when it's collected, it's not gonna not necessarily read better, but read easier.
Yeah, it feels slower than your typical backup.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
You don't get as much content in those X amount of pages as you do any other. Like, even just comparing it to the Perry White backup we get, like, you get so much in the Perry White backup and the Supergirl backup. It's like you get 7-10 pages, but it feels like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it just goes so fast.
It's almost like I'm reading it in real time. It's like
yeah. But yeah, so I guess my Matrix theory is wrong. Who the hell is that? Do you guys have an idea?
No, got some
no clue
looking ass legs and freaking Power Rangers helmet. Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can instill fear. Happens to be yellow, but I don't think that plays into anything.
No, it seemed to be more like psychic or mental.
Yeah.
As opposed to like emotional spectrum.
And then finally we've got that memory lane story. I thought it was cool. There's really not much of a story. Pretty much just what I said in the summary, but the way the memories he was reliving as he walked to the Daily Planet, the way they were drawn, which for those who can't see it, it's black and white over top of the colored panels. It looks so very, very cool. And it really makes the whole things pop. I mean, I wouldn't call the story moving or anything. This definitely isn't tap, tap, tap. But it was a really neat presentation as DC makes Perry White the mayor of Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very sweet. And it was nice seeing, I don't know exactly what the panel was, but as he's going through his memories, there's like one panel of Steel fighting someone, and that felt like kind of a wink because John Bogdanove, if I'm remembering correctly, was the artist on the Louise Simonson penned Steel
yeah.
series from the 90s, and I was like, oh, that's a fun little nod. I like that.
Yeah.
Said
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
I did
that
put
was
that
it was a
together at
nice
all.
little story and
Mhm.
really like an epilogue or just wrapping up the story that Williamson had been setting up in the background with Perry
Mhm.
being the mayor, or like at least running for mayor, and saving her for the 1075th issue. I think is a nice touch. Just
Yeah.
like this is a character that's basically been around since the beginning, and we're gonna give him this major update to his character in a milestone issue. Like I like that. It's showing credence and respect for the character while
Yeah.
giving him a new chapter and new storytelling avenues.
Also,
I'm gonna
was
miss
I the
Perry White
only
being the editor in chief, but
Yeah. Was I the only one who completely forgot that Perry had a wife? That shocked me for some reason.
No.
I thought he was like a widower. I must have been thinking of J. Jonah Jameson.
yeah, I think JJ's. Oh, is
can't-
JJ a
Or
widower?
JJ's
now?
father. No, JJ's father.
Okay, I was gonna J. Jonah Jameson. I
J.
can't
Jonah
imagine
Jameson Sr.
anybody marrying him.
Mm.
Well, he definitely has a wife.
That doesn't make it any more believable. As
Well-
far as this issue goes, Spider-Man aside, for the first time, I enjoyed the main story more than the Supergirl story. The main story was just huge. It felt huge, and the Supergirl story felt just a little too short. And I mean, Perry White was there, like Rob said, to wrap up a thread. And but altogether, I'm pretty damn happy with this issue, especially the art. 8.25 out of 10.
I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
He's got to be out nicing me all the time.
I do it so well.
Well, I gave the main story 8.25. I think I'll just extend that for the rest of the issue. It felt about the same for the other stories.
I could not agree more. Could not agree more. There's some disagreement in the next issue, though.
Is there now?
Yeah, is
So,
there? I guess
maybe
some.
not disagreement, maybe more doubt.
I don't know if we'll disagree on how we feel about this issue, but who knows? Yes, Batman and Robin number 15. Should I wait for the change?
Oh, yes, please.
There we go.
Please yell at me for it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Batman and Robin number 15, as you can see on your screens now, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, art by Javier Fernandez, colors by Marcelo Maiolo, and letters by Steve Wands. This is the second chapter of Memento, in which Bruce Wayne tries to escape from the rapidly burning boiler room while Damian tries to find a way to put out the sudden fire triggered by incendiary charges that has just started in the dining room. Bruce finds an old chain, which he uses to swing out of a window to safety, while Damian manages to trigger the sprinklers in the room and put out the fire. But despite putting out the fire, the incendiary charge causes a chandelier to fall from the ceiling and nearly crushes one of the patrons, whom Damian manages to save at the last minute. But Damian, however, did not realize that the chandelier landed on someone else who we didn't see, who also just happened to be the little girl that he mocked in the previous issue. Later, as Bruce and Damian drive home, Damian tells Bruce what happened during the fire, but he neglects to mention the little girl who was crushed, or just kind of hints that not everyone was saved, but doesn't explicitly say what happened. Bruce then confides in Damian of his time in London, studying under a retired detective named Atticus Bligh during their search for the killer named Memento, but he clarifies that while the man they saw tonight wore the same costume, he's not the same Memento, and that's not possible. That this Memento could be the real Memento that he saw in London. The following afternoon, during a sparring session, Damian reveals his frustration in not knowing what his true motivation is for being Robin. Bruce then takes Damian to his study and gives him one of Thomas Wayne's old journals, hoping that Thomas's words might resonate with Damian and help him find his purpose for being a hero. And after a brief flashback to Bruce's time studying with Detective Bly, Batman and Robin return to Sacred Heart Medical Center to gather evidence from the fire. Across town, roughly around the same time, Tiger Shark is waiting for a delivery of guns from the Penguin, but notices that the ship is moving way too fast. Unbeknownst to him, the crew aboard the small ship have been killed by the mysterious Memento, who stands aboard the ship's deck and crashes it directly into Gotham Harbor. Now that's what I call an explosive ending, kind of. Oh man.
Oh my god. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
don't deserve
God,
a rim shot, but that was terrible.
So loud. That
Oh
is a
man.
wonderful dead.
So I had to actually write down notes for how I felt about this, which I haven't done in a long time because I wanted to keep track of everything because I was afraid I would forget. But the stuff that I really loved about this issue, the storytelling in particular, was the framing at the beginning of the issue, which cuts back and forth between Bruce's internal monologue and Damian's internal monologue as they're processing everything during the fire. And what PKJ really excels at, like even going back to Action Comics, which makes it sound like it's ancient, but that arc was only 3 years ago. But what he excels at, beyond just the high concept ideas that we've seen in Action Comics and Green Lantern, is really getting into a character's mind and showing why they're a hero. Like we saw Superman's compassion, we saw how much he cares for other people and how much he wanted to set the Philosians free of Warworld. With John Stewart, it was his whole mantra of a Green Lantern can do anything, and I don't let anyone tell me it's not possible. Like he sets these standards, I guess, and then has the characters really live up to them. And it's the same thing he's doing here with Bruce and Damian, particularly during that opening sequence where it's like you get to really see how their minds process, but especially when they're interacting with each other back and forth, and we get to see the father and son dynamic. So I loved that. Did a great job, as expected, and I hope we get to see more of that, especially as Damian tries to discover the real motivation for why he's being Robin, not just that Bruce wants him to, or it's expected of him, or whatever. Like, why do I really want to do this? And then lastly, the art from Javier Rodriguez is just wonderfully murky and moody, and it's super appropriate for this story. And there are a few panels in here that are just absolutely gorgeous and feel so perfect for the story that Johnson's trying to tell. So 8.75 for me. This issue was great.
Well, what did you think, Rob?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm just a little foggy at this point. It's only the second issue, and I imagine we're supposed to be a little foggy about what's going on with Memento. Is it a spirit?
Another person from
is
Batman's
it not?
past.
Is it really a ghost, or is it a copycat, or what the fuck's going on? But that's part of the fun, is trying to figure that out, right? So I'm sold on it. It honestly, reading this, I had to remind myself that this isn't Detective Comics.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you'd be very happy. It's a proper mystery.
Yeah, it would have been so good in Detective Comics because it's a fucking detective story. And the fact that Batman at one point even says to Robin, I will not have any of that talk. We're detectives. Like, you're damn right.
And they actually do like detecting in this story. What a novel concept.
And the whole thing is Batman in his youth learning his detective abilities. And learning how to be a detective, and then passing that on to Robin is like, oh my god, chef's kiss is so good.
God.
So
I just realized I want Philip Kennedy Johnson to pen a Batman game.
A game, interesting. I know he did so I don't know if he was direct. Well, I don't know if he was like the main contributor, but he did like a board game version of what was that book he did? The Last God.
Oh,
I don't know if
really?
you remember that? Yeah. Or maybe it was like some kind of like a RPG type of game. If you just look up The Last God RPG or RP or game or something, you should be able to find it.
Right on.
So, yeah, could happen.
That's something to look forward to. I mean, hell, that's a good idea. Get PKJ to work on a Batman game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell to the yeah. But this issue though is honestly it's really good. I love it. The art was really good. The story's interesting. I'm loving the detective work and the detective story. It's a proper mystery. 8.75 out of 10.
Yeah. It's not just a mystery. It's a very intriguing one. And finally, somebody's using timestamps in a believable way.
Yeah.
40 minutes after you're being interviewed for a little girl dying, you're not going to be back in your car. Philip Kennedy Johnson put it 3.5 hours later. Smart. It seems that our man Memento is simply there to watch or make Gotham burn. So secret identity solved. It's Heath Ledger. Actually, I have a feeling that it's actually related to the guy that trained Bruce, but not saying that for sure. I'm just saying it might be. I'm really curious. His actions are very deliberate. What he's doing, recreating and doing new things, turning bad guys against each other. It's pretty cool. The poems he spews are as well, and original too, I think. Don't ring a bell. I like the art everywhere except where I don't. There are some parts of the panels that I am not a fan of, and it's almost exclusively when Damian is being expressive and it's up close. But other than that, art, gorgeous, and a really good time. I'm curious about this doubt Damian feels of whether or not it's going to be the actual story that's happening here. It's a good team. It's a good book. Keep it coming. 8 out of 10.
Right on.
That's what I said, copycat.
Right on.
Right on. So while it is an intriguing dark mystery, it's a damn good one. And now Rob could bring us a little bit of light.
Give you a bright mystery.
Shine some light on the next story we got lined up.
Green Lantern number 17, complete with its very own fucking Quasar, Captain Marvel. I'll get to that at the end. We'll see. This is Civil Core Part 2 Power Transfer. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art and cover from Zermanico. God, that's a good cover.
Obviously, you can tell that's not a Quasar. It's a Planet Scream. It says so right there. It was written there, so we know what it is we're looking at.
Yeah, that's not what I mean by Quasar, though.
I got you.
I know. Okay. Colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr. and letters from Dave Sharp. I was kind of foggy on what Planet Scream was, though. I was excited to figure out what that was. And spoiler alert: there's no screaming planet in this book.
There's planets, though.
Yeah, but do any of them scream?
One might.
Yeah, we don't hear it.
If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
If Imogo screams in the vast universe, does anyone hear it?
Space, no one can hear you scream.
If Mogo's alone in the vast cosmos, does he socialize?
Yes, but only with Pluto, and he doesn't tell anybody about it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't either.
I'd be a little bit worried about Mogo's massive gravitational field ripping Pluto apart, but
and now we know why we are down one less planet.
And hey guys, my moon has mini moons. All right, so bear in mind, bear with me is what I mean to say, because the first little bit kind of jumps around a bit. We jump from player to player. We start off on the Durlan flagship Himota, where we see Varen as Star Scourge, I believe his name is.
Star Shroud, something like that.
Star Shroud, yeah. Is communicating with the Durlan High Command about the next stage of the plan to get the new power to enter the Source Lantern from the scientists that have Kelly and are experimenting on her. They're trying to talk him down, but he is adamant that it's his power to take, and he is going straight for it. However, now that he has taken off for it, the Durlans are going to contact the Unseeing and see what they can do to get him stopped, because they don't trust him any more than they trusted Theros. Meanwhile, in the Chamber of the Unseeing have Jessica Cruz captured, thanks to Kilowog using fear energy, and are torturing the hell out of her using snakes, trying to get any info they can out of her about where the Resistance is hiding, but she is not giving anything up. Then they do get a message in their minds. They've been summoned to some other place, and they say they shall return, leaving Kilowog and Jessica alone. Kilowog seemingly still completely mind controlled, not flinching a second to free Jessica and let up. Now, in the crypt of Oa, the Resistance, or what's remaining of it, are still in hiding and are trying to figure out their next steps. Figuring now they have to just wait, because they're waiting for Hal and John to come back with reinforcements. And that's when Ellie shows up and says, like, you can't wait. Kelly needs you now, and Oa needs you right now. And then we see none other than Theros himself, with the power of a Dark Star, like true Dark Star power, not the Dark Star light energy, but the Dark Star power that existed before in the 90s. And this is what I mean by its very own version of Quasar or Captain Marvel, because goddamn, does this look like Carol Ferris? Not Carol Ferris.
Definitely looks similar.
Yeah, Carol Danvers. It's binary. Like, it's if I swear to God, if he absorbs power next issue, this is straight up Miss Marvel. I'm sold. And he's ready to just destroy everything. The core Oa, just burn it all down. Give me the power I want. Fuck everybody. Now in the Owen science cells, these scientists are still experimenting on Kelly, trying to finish off the power absorption that they're trying to manifest, and they've concentrated it, surprise, surprise, into a ring. This is when Varen shows up and demands that ring, takes it, despite the fact that the Unseeing show up and try to stop him. But this is when Alan Scott and other members of the Resistance have also arrived and take the fight to everybody there. Alan Scott goes after the Unseeing, as he has the best chance against them, and everybody else attacks Varen. But Varen proves too powerful for everybody else, and is able to get away with the ring. Alan Scott at one point does get the Unseeing off kilter, because he lets them see the Star Heart a little bit, and they just become a little too into it. But then Varen's able to get the ring. Huh?
I said, like they're enamored. They saw something they're in love with.
Yeah. Varen's able to grab the ring, puts it on, and instead of the dark purple
Valley.
instead of the dark purple form he's usually in, he's now a pure white light form, and then he flies off into the sky. And this is when Guy gets communication from Hal asking about and Guy asks Hal about reinforcements, and Hal says no, it's even worse than that, and you have to get off Oa and everyone else off it right now, because Red Lantern Mogo is in tow straight behind John and Hal, who are flying straight to Oa and trying to get everybody off and warn them as fast as possible. The Durlan flagship Himota sees Hal and John zoom past them at super speed and is about to counter attack them, but then they get a little bit else on the radar and realize that Mogo is right behind them, but then Mogo fires off a blast of Red Lantern energy, destroying it instantly. Mogo was then about to turn its sights on Oa, but in comes Red Lantern Sinestro, who was so full of rage. He zooms past everything straight onto Mogo's surface within a very large explosion. And instead of attacking Mogo, he absorbs all of the Red Lantern energy out of Mogo, bringing Mogo back to normal, back to his Green Lantern form. Sinestro, pleased with himself, he smiles in victory and then passes out. Hal goes up into the sky and saves him, brings him back down to Oa. Varen, meanwhile, is outside the Source Lantern, and thanks to the power of his new Source Ring, is able to walk inside. And it's at that moment in the crypt, alongside 2-6, St. Walker, and Razor, Kyle Rayner stops acting crazy. As he shouts out, "The Spectrum has been breached. He'll destroy it all. I have to stop him. I have to save the Spectrum." Stands up and becomes a White Lantern once again. White light blasting out of him, radiating around him. He flies up into the sky. Hal sees him, and he just looks down and says, "I have to fix it." Flies right into the Source Lantern, says, "I can see it. This is my destiny." And this is when Theros, up above Oa, says, "Kyle Rayner is dead, and soon you will join him. So says the Dark Star." That is where the issue technically ends. Next issue, the Battle of Oa, Kilowog, Avatar of Fear, the Secret of the Source Lantern, the Dark Star cometh, and of course, in the last page, the real last page, we see Kyle Rayner lives. And he is inside the Source Lantern with Varen, who now looks like Meramon from Digimon. He's a little more fiery as opposed to any other color. It's the two of them there with the whole bunch of mysterious white ghost-looking people floating around them. I don't know what the fuck they are, but Kyle and Varen
the host of people who disappeared in the Source Lantern, the ones that Tharos was sending in.
Oh, maybe so. I forgot he kept doing that. Yes, so that happened. There's a lot
that
to
did
unpack
indeed
here.
happen.
There's so much to unpack here. Brandon and I had a somewhat lengthy discussion yesterday about.
We had a fierce debate in which we yelled abuse at each other.
And a lot of spoiler tags because Josh hadn't read it
yet.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Of course. Anytime.
But
buddy.
of course.
Yeah. My whole thing is, so I really like it. This is part 2 of the story. Third part next month, and that's the end of Civil Core. And then the issue after that will be a renewed status quo for the Green Lantern Corps, where they can move on from all this business with Theros and the United Planets and move on to something a little more stable. At least that's the hope.
That's what they want you to believe.
Exactly. My whole thing is I'm starting to see this now, the bigger picture, that this is issue 17. Issue 18 is going to be the end of the Civil Core story and the long-running story we've had since the beginning, like the big long-running story. And that Adams is kind of writing this so far like a season of television, where there's little bits happening. Each issue is its own episode. You'll have the multi-part stories later on, and it's like the big ones, and you have the cliffhanger endings, and then now we're getting to like what could be described as the season finale coming up next issue. So like this was the big build up, the apex of the season finale story, and then next issue is going to be the season finale where it wraps up a lot of the stuff while leaving some tidbits of story that have already been built up for next season, which is not unlike what a TV show would do. And when I realized that and I thought about that, I was like, oh, this is actually really fucking cool. Because I was in the same boat as you, Brandon, for a while. Like, there's a lot of loose ends here and a lot of little things. Like, it's still bugging me that we still haven't gone back to the guy with the Manhunter armor in issue fucking 1. Because Hal was like, I got to investigate that, and then never investigated it. It's been a year and a half.
I mean, to be fair, he's had some shit on his plate.
He has had a lot of
He
shit
certainly
on his
has.
plate. I just wonder if that little nugget's ever going to get picked back up again, because like every other plot thread has had some developments or has been closed, except for that. And I'm just like, that seemed like it was going to be a focus. Like it seemed like a pretty big deal. So I'm wondering if that's ever going to get picked back up again. But like, that's what I mean. Like there's little tidbits here and there and little hints and like plot threads left laying down, because there's nothing going to get picked up again. And just for now, like all the players with their individual stories, and this is what I liked about the structure of this issue, is that it started out jumping around from each character to character, and you still had that throughout the last few issues, is you're jumping from character to character to character to character to character, because they were all off in different parts of the universe doing their own thing. And now they've all converged together. So the story has now like shrunk down into one thing, because they're all together now. All their individual stories have come together, and now they're all facing the same thing. And I like how that worked.
Come out of this being a master of fear, I'm going to be so disappointed.
I think at some point, if this whole thing with the Source Lantern happens, at some point she has to channel yellow energy. It's gotta happen.
There's just been so many hints toward it.
Yeah.
Going back to oh god, it just disappeared. But she was a Yellow Lantern for a little while.
Yeah, the run that shall not be talked
annual.
about.
Yeah,
the only.
Well, I think that was the only time. Yeah, the only time we saw her as a Yellow Lantern was in that annual, and then it was just like never mentioned again.
It just got forgotten about and retconned.
Yeah,
which is a shame, because it was actually interesting.
yeah. Well, I think that was the problem of, because when they did basically the same thing with Guy Gardner, because I mean, you know this better than I do, but I didn't even realize going as far back as Emerald Warriors that they had been teasing the idea that, Guy had some red in him, and then basically once he became a Red Lantern, he could be explored more. That dynamic could be explored more in the Red Lantern's title. But unfortunately, you don't have a Yellow Lantern or Sinestro Corps or Sinestro title, so it's pretty much just relegated to one story in that run of Green Lantern, and then was never mentioned again.
Yeah. I mean, so he first became a Red Lantern in Blackest Night, which was a good 2 years before.
Yeah, that's right. I totally
Red
forgot
Lantern
about that.
came out. So, I mean, there's still a chance that there could be another Yellow Lanterns book, but like, does the Sinestro Corps even exist anymore?
I don't even know.
That's
probably not, considering the power battery's gone.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
So there's one thing I'm going to say about that annual. I went back and read it again earlier this year or late last year, and I'm thinking we might have just had rose tinted glasses on at the time. Like that whole run was so friggin' dumb that we read the annual, like, this is brilliant, and then you go back and read it after reading better stuff, and it doesn't read as well.
I haven't
Well,
read
that
it
doesn't make
since
it
we read it,
bad.
so I would know.
Yeah. It's interesting. But yeah, I do hope that Jessica Cruz can manifest some yellow energy. I think that'd be an interesting little nod. Where else was I going? Kyle, White Lantern, hell yeah. We all saw it coming. We were all just waiting for it to happen. I'm excited. I do hope we get a bit of explanation as to why he's just been kind of sitting in the corner, muttering to himself for the whole run. That I feel like he's going to be the biggest focus next issue because he hasn't been able to do much else. Yeah, I think that's about it. The only thing that we have left standing is what Carol's doing right now, because she helped that Thanagarian ship teleport, or maybe it was a Ranian ship teleport out of there and then end up with Predator. So that's left standing. As far as galactic stories go, interspatial stories go. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more to be told, but I think as far as the United Planet stuff is definitely going to be covered next issue and resolved. And then there's going to be some more story left picking up, like what's going on with the entities, what's going on with the Source Lantern acting up, and the emotional spectrum getting all over the place. It's probably just because of fucking Theros and what's going on with the Sorrow Lantern. Like that's I think is going to be the big focal point for quote unquote season 2, is the Sorrow Lantern. So for me, this is a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and it's been the Green Lantern story I've been waiting for.
100%. 100%. I agree. I think it was a very exciting issue. Every page I read had me hungry to turn it. I think it was great every second. As Theros became a Dark Star, Kyle Rayner gets his White Lantern abilities back. That's sick, showing he's just tied to the whole of the emotional spectrum without anything having to go on. I'm glad to see that he's not schizophrenic. And man, the art is so perfect in every panel. The story and the dialogue don't miss a beat. I think it's amazing. I understand Brandon doesn't quite, but I give this one a 9.25 out of 10.
Oh boy, I guess I have to be the nasty one then.
Please do.
I can agree on one thing. I do like the art. The panel of Kyle becoming a White Lantern is gorgeous, and I wish I could have enjoyed it more in the context of the story, but unfortunately I did not. Because there's a lot of stuff in this issue that I should like, and I do in concept, but in execution, especially in the pacing, this issue in particular is it just did not land for me. And it felt like a lot of stuff that they had been building towards as being, very important, and like it's going to take time to resolve, basically just got solved in like a panel, especially with the quarantine, the unseeing, and even to a certain extent the Mogo stuff, which I certainly thought was going to have bigger repercussions beyond this story. But no, he just kind of gets the red energy drained away, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess we're done with that. So I don't know. I like we kind of talked about it a lot on Discord. I feel like I said most of what I had to say there, but really the biggest problem for me was just it felt overstuffed, and the problem is that the pacing of this story feels like it will not lead all of these different plot threads to a satisfying conclusion. So I hear what you're saying about the season 2, idea, and that a lot of this stuff will be explored in the second part of this run. But my concern is that it's going to end up being just like this first part, where you have a bunch of stuff that was set up initially. That stuff is getting paid off now, but it's just kind of rushing through it and getting to the end in a really awkward way, rather than finding a satisfying conclusion for each of these plot threads. It's just kind of trying to wrap it up in one issue, which you kind of can't do unless you're, a skillful master at this. And I just didn't feel it. So as much as I wish I could say I loved this issue, I really didn't. I like seeing Kyle. I like seeing him as a White Lantern. I wish it was a little more earned. I wish it wasn't just like, oh, I'm crazy and I'm sitting in the corner losing my mind, and then all of a sudden I, spring to attention like the cloud has been lifted from my mind. I wish there was more than that, but it just, I don't know. I feel, like I said, all of it kind of feels rushed and not as satisfying as I wish it was. So yeah, I have to give this one a 7 out of 10.
And it's still a pretty good score.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse, but there are parts that I like. I love seeing the core all together, working together, and even some of the one-liners from Guy, made me smile. But yeah, in terms of the story, it just was not with it.
Well, to steal a line from a smart, wonderful friend of mine, not all of us can be right.
Oh, you think you're some kind of clever, don't you?
Got it.
I'm just really good with dad jokes.
Ah.
Very, very bad dad jokes. Nothing wrong with that.
Well
It
then,
doesn't take a detective to figure it out.
I'll just sit here with my all-in Hal Jordan custom figure and enjoy my Green Lantern.
Yeah, you have fun.
I will.
I'm gonna go read something good like Godhead.
You take that back. I swear
I think he meant
to.
Mosaic.
Mosaic is not a bad book, but I hate that I have to call it good,
We know.
considering the
Yeah.
circumstances around it.
Yeah, like
Like I'm doing mental gymnastics to describe it without all of the other implications attached.
yeah, like every Lantern fan knows and agrees that have read it, that it is an iconic John Stewart story and a fantastic Green Lantern story. It's just a
And also, we just
goddamn
can't talk
shame
about
that the writer is the writer.
Yeah,
As kind of tarnished the legacy of the book.
it really does.
Because if you're gonna go out and get Mosaic, get it out of the dollar bin. Don't.
That's
don't
what I've been
get it-
doing.
Don't get it digitally.
Yeah.
Nothing that
Yeah.
could possibly pay him. Everything will be okay though.
Exactly.
I don't think he possibly gets royalties from this stuff. Oh God, I just thought about that. I wonder if, I guess if the Lanterns TV show borrows any concepts from Mosaic, he'd have to get a royalty check, wouldn't he?
It
That's
depends on
horrible.
what his creative license contract was.
Yeah.
I hope it's
And
nothing. I hope it was null and
Mosaic
void.
was pretty out there. I don't think anybody is going to be adapting Mosaic anytime soon.
Although it was surprisingly mentioned in the run that shall not be named, so it's possible that some people are familiar with it.
Yeah, but that's
I'll be
part
right
of the
back.
reason we don't talk about that run. Yeah. Well,
This next book is not written by a horrible piece of shit, at least as
No.
far as I'm aware.
yeah, as far as we know.
What do we know?
Scott Snyder seems to be a stand-up dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Josh.
Take it
Okay,
away.
Josh seems to have disappeared at the worst possible moment. Yeah, it's like I swear to Highfather, if you say that godhead is better than this.
Now that's how you write a Green Lantern.
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Yeah, that Green Lantern New Gods crossover. That's how you write Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stop it. You guys
No.
know that the best one is Green Lantern season 2.
I
mean, it's
actually
better
do
than
like
season
that.
one.
Everyone hates that, but
I fucking love them. I don't know what everybody's problem is. It's like it's too hard to read. Well, then take some.
I was just thinking of a storyline that Rob particularly did not like. I would have said Renegade, or what is it? Renegade?
I liked it.
The one that that one that everyone hates, but
Yeah.
this man over here is an anomaly, and he likes it.
The only part about Renegade I didn't like was that Hal Jordan inexplicably had luscious long locks after like a month. It made no sense to me. I was like, how is this man's hair grown out so much in such a short amount of time?
Bitches.
If Rogaine worked like that, I'd have fucking hair by now.
Roa gang.
Ro-
Badumtis. Okay, well, it doesn't take a detective to figure out that that was a bad joke, even for me. Absolutely. That's what their laughs just said. And with that, I'm going to move us around and over to Gotham City with Absolute Batman number 2. One sec. Absolute Batman number 2, written by Scott Snyder, art both inside and on the cover from Nick Dragotta, with colors from Frank Martin and lettering from Clayton Cowles. The Zoo, part 2 of 5, featuring Zaboomafoo. I'm kidding.
I wish.
Wouldn't that be hopping along?
Yeah. I also want to see just what the Crap Brothers would be like in Gotham City.
Right?
Insane. They'd be insane.
They would be insane. Actually, yeah, I don't want to see that. They would get corrupted, and I don't want that. The Crap Brothers are too wholesome for Gotham City.
Talking marsupial buddy that only they can understand.
Sounds
in
like
Gotham City, and you think they're going to be fine?
Dude,
yeah,
Harley can talk to the Beaver.
And how many times has she been in Arkham? And what Beaver are you talking about?
Why you got to bring up old shit?
The fuck's the Beaver?
I mean, a record is a record, man.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to know what I might be killing the joke, but what Beaver? It's gonna bug me.
Oh my god! I just forgot his name. She's got a beaver that she talks to. It's only she can talk to it. It's not real.
Does the beaver talk back?
Yes. Oh my god!
Which run was this?
My memory. I wish I could remember shit like you.
Was Amanda Connor? Because I didn't read that run.
Bernie. God damn it.
Bernie
the
yes,
Beaver.
Bernie.
Oh, you know,
Beaver.
Bernie the Beaver.
Yes.
What the fuck. I'm looking this up.
But he was named after Bernie Sanders.
Does he have half a face?
He also appeared in movie posters with or the movie poster for Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Absolutely
he's
no memory
on
of
the
this.
movie theater. Or movie poster, excuse me.
Yeah, it is the Amanda Connor run.
That would make sense because I have not read it.
Nope. No, I have not.
Well, I read it all, so I don't have time for other books. All DC. All right, The Zoo, part 2 of 5. What an appropriate name for Gotham. We see a page of Bruce as a child trapped behind a door that his father is propped up against, dead, drunk. You really can't tell, but it's noted that his father is dead later in the issue. I mean, we all knew that that was coming from the last one. After that, the first third of the book is narration by Alfred, explaining that he has set up certain protections for Batman because the more Batman attacks, the more intel he can gather on his target. Black Mask, Roman Sionis, and his gang, the Party Animals, are who he's are who. That's his target. Jiminy Christmas, I'm losing my talking. Eventually, those in charge tell him he must stop because Batman is getting too volatile and he follows orders. In the time that he's been tracking him, he's found out a lot of information, like the fact that Batman has many, many secret bases across Gotham that Alfred calls caves. And the layout is in the shape of none other than a bat symbol, which amuses him. He watches every move as both Batman and Bruce. With Bruce, his routine is exactly the same, with one exception when he goes to the prison to visit his father's killer, Joe Chill, though he has no idea what Bruce said to him. As Batman, he talks about Bruce needing to follow strategy from campaigns of war, know when to advance forward, AF, know when to retreat and regroup, R&R. That's when he realizes that Batman isn't just prepared for anything. He's not just brutal. Even after Alfred removes his protections and the party animals start to find some of his safe houses, when he thinks Batman will do some R&R and change his tactics, he finds out he's dead wrong. Batman doesn't do R&R. Batman is Batman AF. After Bruce meets his friends,
I love it, but I hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck yeah, but I'm also cringing.
I read that and I'm like, I read that page and I'm like, the entire time he was writing this smidgen of dialogue, the corners of Snyder's mouth touched his fucking ears.
Biggest fucking smile. The biggest shit-eating grin you've ever seen.
Oh god, yes.
Batman, yeah. Fuck yeah.
He is.
I read this. I read this scene and I was like, "Oh, this book is written by Scott Snyder."
Right. All right. Well, after Bruce
remember
meets
when
his...
we said Scott Snyder's not a horrible person?
He's not a horrible person.
Totally. I mean, he hasn't done anything legally wrong, but
I hope so.
Is there information I'm unaware of? He's a super nice dude.
Yeah, I know. It just writes the cheesiest fucking stuff that makes you like question your choices.
It's like the perfect line between "oh, that's badass" and "oh, that is so corny."
Yeah, it's like for those that have seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged, it's Vegeta in the Broly movie. That's so dumb, but he's so cool.
That's it.
And well, I guess you got to appreciate Snyder's sense of humor if you're going to enjoy Batman AF. One of my favorite parts throughout all of the Dark Knight's books was how they changed their names in the credits every issue. I fucking loved that. That was hilarious.
I don't think I caught that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
You should go back and check it out. They give themselves different names in every issue. But after Bruce meets his friends for a game of poker, his friends being,
criminals.
Not the costumes, but we got the Riddler, Croc, Two-Face, and such. After Bruce meets those friends for a game of poker and asking some questions about the party animals, after sharing a really strange mask, Batman goes out. He has found out that Gordon's mayoral opposition talks about having deep pockets and a secret gold chest, and Batman puts that together as an arc, which means Arkham. The party animals track him using the special tech in their helmets, and with Alfred's protections gone, it doesn't take long. They even called the GCPD to tip them off for his location. While he's surrounded, a party animal launches an RPG at him because why not? The GCPD is everywhere, and the party animal launches an RPG at him. I guess they're not scared of it. But anyway, he manages to escape. He drops down an elevator shaft, makes his way over to another building, and finds Alfred, who manages to convince Batman to hear him out after they escape the GCPD and party animals. He offers to use his car unless Batman has one nearby, and that's when he says that they're actually already in his car, and they take off, taking a big chunk of the building with them. They take off in a car so big that it actually was a part of the building. It's so big that it makes the Batmo Beast from Death Metal look like a Hot Wheels toy. And then on the next page, we finally see Selina, who looks pretty young and wearing some sort of, I guess you would call that kawaii? I don't know. I'm not anime.
It's a sweater
It's a
with cat
hoodie
ears.
with cat ears.
I would call it, yes,
That's all it
a
is.
cat-themed sweater.
Yeah, that's all. And she looks young because that's young Bruce. That's in the past.
I mean, he's in his 30s.
No, but like
No,
that.
I mean,
that
that
part
scene
with
takes
Selina.
place
That's a
in the past.
flashback.
Oh, that was a
Yeah.
flashback. Oh,
Yeah.
well, damn. So Selena's not quite back yet. But I didn't even pick that up at all. Well, I mean, after reading this issue, I did not know which way to go after issue 1. I was very nervous coming into it after issue 1. I still did not know how I feel. I'm moving past my complete uncertainty about this title and leaning more into liking it, though his bat toys seem like they would cost a whole lot more than someone who plays poker in a broke down boxing gym could afford. It is getting better for me though. I do need something, like anything, to convince me to like his symbol, axe, and cape. It is getting better though, and Dakota art works pretty damn well here with Martin's colors. I will give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I
And
personally,
God damn it. Batman, Absolute Batman,
Yeah,
written
there
by
we
Scott
go.
Snyder.
It's absolutely Batman as fuck.
Batman AF. Fuck yeah. No, Josh. You know when you were saying like you could just
Batman
imagine
family,
him. You
world
can just imagine him
peace.
at the computer writing that scene with like the biggest smile on his face. I'm gonna add a little addendum where he's smiling, but you just know he typed that line and he said to himself, he's like, "Fuck yeah."
Fuck.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Because how could you not?
Yeah.
I mean, I would. And now every time I hear somebody say "fuck yeah" like that, I am instantly transported back to Team America World Police.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've been trying to figure out how
Fuck
to.
yeah.
America.
Batman family, world police. Fuck yeah.
Batman, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Did everybody give their points of view on this particular issue?
No, Brandon and I have not started yet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I guess I will just patiently wait.
No, I was just gonna say I'm kind of over the costume now. Like my main focus really just is the story and how that's unfolding. And I don't know. I mean, I've seen some people saying like this may be the one of the weaker Absolute titles, but I really dig it so far. And I love this kind of this maybe over the top persona that this version of Batman has, where he feels like he's so driven to the extreme that he kind of has to be I can't believe I'm going to say it, but Batman AF, like just leaving his symbol and his, you know, his likeness everywhere, so that it's not just about getting to the party animals, but it's about leaving a message. So I dig that stuff, and then
Yeah,
Alfred's observations are, you know, interesting into getting into the mind of Batman, because we don't like there's no we haven't had any internal captions on, you know, Bruce's side, so we have no idea what he's thinking. All of this is from Alfred's outsider perspective, and that's what kind of provides an interesting angle, I think.
you're right.
So yeah, I give it a 8.5. Like it's solid. And I have no idea where it will unfold, and that's kind of what's keeping me intrigued. And also I love Nick Dragotta. He's so awesome. I know people have their qualms about the design, and yes, it is kind of awkward, but again, I'm past it. Like, I'm just here for the story, and it's being told beautifully through the art, so I don't really mind. So yeah.
And in the book, he does not look as absurd as he did on the cover of Batman.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely has some chunky moments, but it works in context, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, in the way that Dracotta's art works, it just doesn't look wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
to paint the picture for Brandon's brutality comment in just a minute ago. In the opening pages, we see Batman having stabbed somebody through the gut and holding them over his head. So he does go a little hard.
Yeah.
Now, and then in issue 1, we did see him take his bat axe and cut somebody's hand off. So
yeah,
there's that too.
Yeah. So I'm actually digging this whole cape scenario thing. Like, there was that fight in the aquarium with the fuck, what are they called? Laffy Taffy gang, whatever the fuck they're called.
Oh, the party animals.
Party animals. Yeah. Thank you. Where at one, I knew it was something to do with. Where he like the aquarium glass cracks and water comes pouring out, and he just like sticks his cape into the ceiling and hangs there like a bat, because he's like, it's not even really a cape, it's like prehensile arms almost. Like the spikes on the cape just like stick into the concrete ceiling, and he just hangs there. Like, that was fucking cool. All right.
Yeah, and you're right. He does not use the cape quite as a cape. Later on, when we see him just walking through that building, he's actually wearing it almost like a scarf.
Yeah, a scarf or
because it's not really a cape. It's closer to like wings in a way, right?
Magic fabric.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what they're going for, because I know bats, like, they tend to wrap themselves in their wings when they hang upside down.
Yep.
Again, unless I'm mistaken. Nope. I think they're really trying to play up the whole, like, this is a Batman that really emphasizes his bat-like nature, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we do later on in the book, we find out that when he was trapped in that room and his dad was up against the door, we find out that his dad actually had been murdered at that time. And when they find Bruce, they find him under a shit ton of bats.
Yeah.
That's somehow so much worse than like every other version of Bruce falling into the cave and the bats surround him. Because it's one thing to have them flying around your head. It's another thing entirely to have them all over your body.
Yeah, that fucked somebody up.
Yeah. No amount of showers would ever make me feel clean again.
Oh God, no.
I freak out every time something furry touch me. That's goddamn
seriously.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe it just breaks something in your mind and you just don't even care anymore, and then you become a bat. Who knows?
That's what happened to Bruce. He became Bat AF.
We come to find out that Catman in this universe is his greatest enemy, because he's like cheetah.
He's
He can't
surprisingly cuddly.
and he can't handle the fur. Like, the fur. Not the gumdrop buttons.
No.
So what was it you were saying about the credits? Like the names are changing every issue?
In Dark Knights and Metal, they
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
they
that I
gave-
know. I thought you were talking about in this.
Oh no! Dark
Okay.
Knights Metal. I couldn't spit them all out, but they were all
Yeah.
like death metal, speed metal, heavy metal kind of
Yeah.
themed names that they were given.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I still love that fucking series.
That was a fun book. I liked it.
It was. I will be fine if I never see Batman Who Laughs or Barbados again, but that was still great.
Yeah. Just the whole metal style of all the characters. The death metal style, heavy metal.
Except Nightwing. I did not like Nightwing.
You didn't like
Yeah, that
Jon
one
Snow Nightwing?
Weird.
No, I did not like Jon Snow Nightwing. That looked bad, but everybody else's was cool. I don't know what the hell Capullo was thinking there. That may have been Zermanico.
It was, yeah. We did the Justice League, whatever that arc was called.
Mm-hmm.
Death metal tie-in. But yeah.
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 Okay.
So what the hell else do I have for this issue?
All kinds of stuff. Just
I
drop
think
them on us.
that might have actually been it to talk about. Like this, the cape was the cape was cool, right? The dump. It's I was thinking the same about like how is he able to afford something like this, but job is working in construction. All he's got to do is just augment like some of the exterior of the vehicle, and this is just like off his job site. Like it's a giant fucking dump truck. That's what it is, and it's wild.
It's bigger than a dump truck. That sumbitch is bigger than I mean, you see the people look like ants compared to the tires on that fucking.
Yeah. No, I know, but like it's a construction vehicle, and I like that they went for that style for the quote unquote Batmobile, considering Bruce's civilian life.
I am gonna say that's a little hard to believe. I can't see that fucker making sharp 90-degree turns.
Well, I mean, they don't show it doing 90-degree turns. They show it driving through a fucking wall. And mowing down police cars. I don't think he's trying to make 90-degree turns.
No
It's like, motherfucker, I'm going through you. I am Batmobile AF.
Yes.
Oh God, it's gonna be a while before I stop saying that. I just hope you guys are ready.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I expect they'll be saying it quite a few times throughout the rest of this series. Knowing Snyder, that's almost a guarantee. Yeah.
I feel like all three of us had the same reaction when we read that panel.
Like that's fucking great.
That's so dumb, but that's so cool. But
that's so dumb. But why do I love it? I hate it, but I love it, and I hate that I love it. I love that I hate it.
I didn't even roll my eyes. I just went Batman as fuck.
Oh my God. Well, it's worse because like I knew that apparently when they pitched this book, I saw like some tweet. This might have been some fake story or something, but there's like some tweet from Nick Dragotta where he's like, when we pitched Absolute Batman, we originally pitched it as Batman AF, Batman as fuck. But apparently they were like, no, that it's just too much. You can't do that. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, thank God, because that is ridiculous. Like no one would ever go that far. And then I saw, and I was like, oh, I knew it. You fuckers. Let it be said that a quote unquote good idea never goes to waste, and this is living proof of that.
Right?
You
They
wanted
found a
to-
way to
you-
work it in.
Yeah, you wanted some way to incorporate Batman AF. Well, here you fucking go.
Right? You know, advance forward. He's
Yeah.
Batman, advance forward.
Wink.
Yeah.
Advance forward. That's all it means. That's it.
That's it. Nothing
That's it.
else.
Nothing else. There are no other possible
Yeah.
meanings of AF, as
No.
we all know.
Definitely not.
Certainly not for a guy who chops off hands and stabs people through a gut.
Certainly not.
No, definitely not. I was also still kind of on the fence with issue 1. I was thoroughly surprised and enjoyed the first issue, but I did need a bit more to like really give a proper feel for the direction of this book and like if I like it or not. Issue 2, as cheesy as some stuff was, I think I'm fucking sold. I actually really liked it, so I'm gonna give this a 9.
Nice.
Right on. Bringing the storm. Tis. Let us move on to the next issue. Brendan, shall we?
I suppose so. Last book of the week. This is BlackLightning #1, written by Brandon Thomas, which I had a moment there where I almost typed my own name, and I was like, I didn't write this book. I wish I did, but I didn't. With art from Fico Ossio, colors from Ulysses Areola, and letters from Lucas Gattoni, Jefferson Pierce, aka BlackLightning, we all know, we all love him, is the new head of a new initiative helping people who've developed superpowers in the wake of absolute power, but he's been struggling with PTSD from the last fight he had with the Amazos, a fight which very nearly cost him the lives of his daughters. So, working alongside his daughter Jennifer, aka Lightning, the duo manages to save the life of one Isaac Mitchell, whose powers manifested while he was being bullied at school. As BlackLightning and Ryan Choi run diagnostic checks on Isaac, Jennifer checks in with her sister, Anissa, who you may also know as Thunder, who has been kind of distant lately. Anissa is kind of dodgy and promises that she'll check in with the family soon, but doesn't really give any indication as to when. So after a quick check-in with Superman regarding the initiative, BlackLightning and Lightning head towards another power surge, also located in Suicide Slum, where the first surge was, where a young woman covered in electricity has caused a train car to explode. Lightning moves to comfort her before she does something drastic, but she recognizes who the mysterious woman is. She gets distracted, the woman's powers surge again, and it knocks both of them off balance, causing them to fall from the train. BlackLightning manages to catch Anissa before they both fall to the ground and sort of lightnings off the mysterious woman to another location. Whoa. I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, before they both... Yeah, anyway. They both fall to the ground, but Jefferson manages to catch her before she falls first. And then Jeff goes off to confront the mysterious woman, but discovers that she is none other than Anissa Pierce, now seemingly with the powers of Jennifer, I think so, revealing that she has lost control of her powers once again. Yeah, great start, in my opinion. Brandon Thomas wrote a bunch of BlackLightning and Outsiders and other stories, I think, and finally gets to do his own solo BlackLightning story, which is really cool to see. It's a great mix of internal struggles and seeing Jefferson adjust to the new status quo of being kind of the head of this new initiative, while also maintaining a solid dynamic between father and daughter, and setting up a great mystery at the end. Just a really well-executed first issue. And I really hope this issue goes beyond just the 5 or 6 issues that it's planned. I think it was mentioned that it was a miniseries, but like with all these new titles, that can quickly change depending on how it sells. So yeah, just great setup. Looking forward to seeing more. And the art from Fico Ossio is great. I think it really lends itself to the action scenes in particular. So I dug this issue a lot, and looking forward to the next one. It's 8.5 out of 10 for me.
100% agree. Remind me again, because I forgot to look it up. Who is Grace?
Grace Choi, I guess now ex-girlfriend of Anissa. I don't know what the
Yeah.
situation there is, but she's in Birds of Prey right now, but originally was in Judd Winnick's Outsiders, where her and Thunder,
Right.
aka Anissa, first met. And then she was like, "Oh, I think I like women." And Grace was like, "Yeah, you do. Now let's make out and have sex in
Yeah, you do.
plane." I'm simplifying it, but that's basically what happened.
Basically.
That's
Yeah,
what
and
happens, and that's how wives end up saying I'm 90% gay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what the story is behind their breakup. To be honest, I don't even know the last time Grace Choi was mentioned, like before showing up in Birds of Prey. So
I think honestly, and I shouldn't be spilling the hot gossip here, but from what I understand, they broke up because Ryan Choi was small.
excuse me.
He's the Atom. Get it?
Oh my god, what does Ryan Choi have to do with this? Aside from the fact they have the same last name, I don't think they're
They have the
related
same
though.
last name. Anyway, it was a stretch.
Oh, you need to take that joke back to the workshop.
Right.
That was practically an anti-joke.
It was. Be quiet. We like anti-heroes. Why can't you guys are too hard to please?
Hey, I'm not saying anti-jokes are bad. Anti-jokes have a great fan base.
Yeah.
Anti-jokes can be quite enjoyable.
Or else Steve Carell wouldn't have a fan base.
Oh,
Oh man, lightning strike. I think this is a pretty damn cool idea. It really works for the educator side of BlackLightning, much like bringing out the engineer side of works for John Stewart. It just makes the character better. And the idea that he's gathering up these people into Avengers Academy, just kidding, with randomly activated metagenes to help him, man, I think that is really cool. It's a perfect role for BlackLightning to be in. The part where Anissa is one of them that needs help, that's the only part that's confusing for me. If he's doing this for others, why would he do it for her? I mean, the argument is pretty simple to make that he didn't know, but she apologizes for exploding and says it happened again. So that's where the confusion comes from. I'm sure it'll be explained soon enough, likely next issue if I know Brandon Thomas's writing style. And damn, can Fico Osteo draw the Lightning family or what?
oh god, yeah.
And the
I
colors,
mean, look at
dude,
that cover.
That's what I'm
Yeah, it's great.
saying. Beautiful, and the colors make it jump like Jiffy Pop right off of the page. It's good stuff. I'm so ridiculously happy with not just BlackLightning having his own series, but the fact that it's a damn good kickoff for it. 8.5 out of 10.
My score will also be 8.5. It was a solid first issue. I don't know how I have much else to say. It's a great it's a great spot for BlackLightning on the Justice League, with, like you said, Josh, with the educator background, being able to reach kids and teach kids that are having issues with newfound abilities, and who better to do that than somebody that already teaches kids on a daily basis and taught his own kids how to deal with their powers. Like it's brilliant. It's perfect. 8.5 out of 10. I'm excited to see the new dynamic for the BlackLightning family going forward.
Definitely.
Well, the dynamic for the BlackLightning family going forward, I hope, includes, because this is a story thread that I'm so pissed has just disappeared. But in the Outsiders book, BlackLightning and Katana were a thing, and I want that to come back. I think that they make a really interesting pair. She doesn't have to be on there or in there all the time, but I would like to see it acknowledged.
Did
I
they
like
actually
their
make
partnership.
a move, or was it just teased?
It was just teased, I think. But
It
Black
was-
Lightning basically said something to the effect of, if I'm remembering the Outsider story right, it was like, maybe, yeah, it's like maybe there are feelings there, but I respect her too much as a teammate to let anything like that happen. And I was like, yes, that is the very respectable answer, and I agree.
If I'm not mistaken, it had something to do with her husband being trapped in the sword still.
I think you're talking about the
mean-
annual, and I don't remember it really being discussed there, but I could be misremembering.
That would make dates really awkward.
I suppose it would.
Hey, babe.
Your husband's staring at me again.
He's talking to you, isn't he?
Put him down.
No, he's not talking to me. Why? Are you hearing voices? Perfect. All right. Well, I mean, I guess that wraps up Black Lightning, and by that, the entire week. Shall we jump into top 3 and favorite moments if you got one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
All right. Well, I've got a couple favorite moments. Top 3. Third place goes to Action Comics. Second place goes to Black Lightning. First place goes to Green Lantern. All of those should be obvious as to why. Excuse me. It's got to be when my favorite moment, number 1, has got to be when Bruce and Damian are training and Damian throws the shuriken and Bruce catches both of them at the same time in between the fingers of one hand. It was so absurd and wonderful at the same time. That was in Batman and Robin. But
And then goes, yes, son, you are distracted.
yes.
And we're talking about the other universe's Batman AF. Come on.
Right? There's 2 art standouts for me this week too. I'm sure it's not hard to figure out where those may have come from. Both of them are from inside Green Lantern. Theros going full Dark Star there in what Rob is calling his Quasar moment. It's absolutely bananas beautiful there. Lines, lights, colors. It's a toss-up between that one and then on the last book of the page with Kyle. Both of them are absolutely gorgeous.
Mhm.
And full of what the hell does this mean now? It's just awesome, hands down.
Yeah.
How about y'all, man?
For me, I have Batman and Robin at number 3, Absolute Batman at number 2, and Green Lantern at number 1. No fucking surprise there. My favorite moment, I had it picked out, but I forgot to write it down, and I'm having trouble remembering what it was. I'm pretty sure it was Batman AF. I'm pretty fucking sure it was that.
Oh my god.
If not the
Gonna be
Bat
the death
dump
of
truck, just like driving through everything, just
Fucking
like
earth mover for crying out loud.
yeah. Some wild shit. But I could also throw out like Kyle becoming White Lantern, but that's going to be a lot of favorite moments, and also I like Sinestro just showing up out of nowhere and just like, I'm a help.
Thunder punching logo.
Yeah.
I know he showed up in Sinister Sons, but I like the idea that because the last time we saw him was what, like Green Lantern number 6. Wait, can you guys hear me?
In this series, yeah.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Yo.
Sorry, I thought I cut out for a second. But yeah, I think the last time we saw him was like Green Lantern number 6, and he just flew off into space. And I thought it was funny the idea that like all this time he's just been flying through space screaming his lungs out, and he just showed up like now out of the blue, like still pissed, and he's like, "Oh, it's Mogo. Well, he has so much rage. I'm drawn to it. I must take it because I'm so pissed."
Yeah,
In my head canon, that's what happened.
If you were not reading Sinister Sons Renewal before Zod and you did not have that background to follow up on, I could totally see that being the headcanon. Just like he's just been flying
like,
around pissed off
for months. He's just been like, "Oh man, fuck everyone. I'm so mad."
Oh wait,
I'm untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
My rage knows no bounds. I've contained my rage for as long as possible, but I will unleash my fury upon you. Like, I know that thing verbatim, which is probably not healthy.
The righteous hand. No, I already.
The crushing of 1,000 waves. Begone, vile man, be gone from here. A starter car. This is not a starter car, it's a finisher car.
Finisher car.
A transporter of gods, the golden god. I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes to the mall or something. Oh God, I love It's Always Sunny.
Just like that slow coming down.
Like,
the way you were delivering it, I thought you were quoting Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. He will lay his vengeance down upon me.
That's easily a top 5 Dennis Reynolds moment.
Oh God, yes.
If not top 3.
That and for as disgusting as it is, the Dennis system still.
The Dennis system,
I fucking lose it every time, and I've seen that clip at least 15 times.
There's that. There's the Dennis system. There's the implication. Again, as disgusting as it is, but
are you going to hurt women?
No, nobody said anything about hurting these women.
Well, I don't know what you're looking at. I certainly wouldn't bring you on the boat.
and him and Mac just living together, and he just like throws the cereal bowl down the hall.
Oh my God!
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always Sunny.
Oh, Always Sunny. Okay. All
right.
Man. Yeah.
Tell me about Mac's famous mac and cheese.
Are you telling me there's been a bathroom in here this whole time?
I made it just one time.
That
and you
right
like
there
it
is
so much.
one of my favorite lines from that entire show. Simple and understated. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's great fucking comedy. Anyway, your
I
top
feel like
three,
I gotta let myself calm down. I got worked up like Dennis doing that impression. Okay.
But you were untethered and your rage knows no bounds.
I was untethered and my rage truly knew no bounds. Because I'm the golden god.
I'm still stuck on Pulp Fiction. I'm like, do they speak English and what?
Oh my God.
What?
Josh, I gotta send you that clip if you haven't seen it already. But it's Dennis blowing up when he tries to sell his car, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm getting it for my daughter. It's a good starter car," and he's like, "Starter car?
Not a starter car. It's a finisher car."
Send the clip, and then I've got to put that back into my rotation.
Yes. And then clear the next 2 weeks because you'll be watching nothing else. Oh man,
I'm tempted to watch that.
Okay.
At bedtime, I'm like, everybody here is asleep by 11:30. but I can't fall asleep until like 3:00. So I chew through long running shows pretty quickly by myself. I'd be way through Futurama if I didn't have to wait for Holly.
Man.
But that's a Holly thing. I have to wait.
Honestly, after midnight is a great time to watch It's Always Sunny. That was like, I think I watched the first season and a half just on like an all-night binge for some reason, which was great because I was so tired. It made a lot of the stuff more funny. It was already funny, but it made it more funny because my brain was melting.
Yeah. After Midnight's also a great place to see Taylor Tomlinson.
It is.
At a comedy club?
It's a
the show
it's
after
a fake
midnight.
game show.
Oh, my bad.
It's pretty good.
It's a great show. You should check it out. Yeah, and binging a season and a half of a show after midnight is how I watched Gurren Lagann.
Oh my
That's
God.
how I've peeled through almost every show Josh Gates has ever been a part of.
I've only done that 3 times. Once with It's Always Sunny, once with Silicon Valley, and once with Veep. I think Veep was probably the best one because that was like by the time I got to like season 3, I was losing it. And it was great.
Oh God, Silicon Valley. I have to go back and watch that shit.
God, yes.
Yeah,
Genial.
I've been waiting to rewatch that show for a while. I got to just do it.
I've almost been tempted to do that as well.
Watching it after what's his face left the show though.
Oh, TJ
Is
Miller.
it
TJ Miller.
Yeah. What's his name? Richard. No, not Richard. Eric Bachman.
Yeah.
How could I possibly forget?
Ehrlich.
Erlich.
Yeah.
I get the pig from a China as Eric Bachman because the pig is fat.
I feel like his entire career died after he shit talked Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't like there was sexual
that and like
misconduct.
he also had that and he would like argue with a lot of people on social media for some reason.
Like he shit talked Ryan Reynolds because Ryan Reynolds basically fired him from any future Deadpool after the allegations
he was shit talking Ryan Reynolds while he was filming Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's like,
it was not a great career move.
It's like I see that you follow the Nick Nolte school of acting. You on camera. Gotcha. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Okay. Last thing I'm gonna say. Favorite Jin Yang line, go.
Oh my God. Only on special occasions. There's definitely better ones. It's the only one I can think of right now.
I love when he's prank calling Ehrlich and he goes, "Is your refrigerator running? This is Mike Hunt." It's like A for effort.
You did so close. Wrong, man. Okay, I'm gonna have to write both of those down.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Sorry.
So many great shows.
Continue with your top 3.
Oh my! I like every time I keep forgetting. Okay. All right. What did I have? Number 3, AbsoluteBatman. Number 2, BlackLightning. Number 1 though has to go to BatmanandRobin. And I was trying to find the panel from BatmanandRobin that was my favorite for this week, but I can't locate it. So I'm just gonna go with one from ActionComics where we see Kara is basically like kind of a huge brat. And just Clarke with the shit-eating grin that I imagine Scott Snyder had when he wrote Batman AF, saying, "Oh, she's never gonna hear the end of this when I get back to Earth." And I was like, "Oh, perfection."
Yeah.
Fucking toast, man. All right. I guess that is it.
Yeah, no more sitcom talking.
I guess so.
No more
No
sitcom
more
talk.
sitcom.
We're all done with.
We need to
Sorry,
just
I'm
do a
sorry.
sitcom podcast at this point.
Yeah.
It happens every time.
We call it. It's always Silicon and Futurama.
I love it.
Uh,
I'm sold.
Wonderful. We start filming tomorrow. All right. Before we get out of here, I'll let you know that Batman Superman World's Finest number 33, Action Comics 1076, Wonder Woman 15, Titans 17, Catwoman 70, The Question All Along the Watchtower number 1, and Milestone Universe The Shadow Cabinet number 1 will be coming out next week, in addition to Batman and Robin Year 1 number 2, Dark Knights of Steel All Winter 5, Batman Full Moon 2, Jenny Sparks 4, and Renaissance of Raven number 1. That one's brand new. The other honorable mentions that I brought out there are great, with the exception of Jenny Sparks. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel, and that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you have to as well. Be careful out there. And remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.